you get the latest iPhone. Every year. Boost Infinite. Infinitely better. To learn more, pick up your phone, dial pound 250 and say Boost Infinite. That's pound 250 and say Boost Infinite. Terms apply. After 30 gigabytes, service may be slow. Receive a comparable iPhone model each year with acceptable trade-in every year. Requires credit qualification and 36-month phone financing agreement. You'll have the option to receive a one-time auto-dial text message from iHeartMedia.
From the Ingalls Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart radio station.
Now, your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website. Win. That's win. Enter it now.
Log on now to ESPNAVL.com. And good luck from your friends at ESPN Asheville.
The pounding begins. The wagons are circled. Every wind is raidered. It's football time in America, and this republic has never been stronger. The Sportsocracy, Beer City's best sports talk, live from the Ingalls studio.
And welcome into the Sportsocracy, ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, 1400. We're heard everywhere on the iHeart Radio app, seen everywhere on YouTube. Go to thesportsocracy.com, click the live video link, subscribe to the channel, and join us here in the chat. Guess what, Jeremy Green?
Who's gonna break the news?
Oh, no.
Who's gonna break the news? Who's gonna break the news? Who's gonna break the news?
Oh, yeah. It's breaking news day.
Oh, no.
Love it.
Oh, that dance is getting more repulsive by the day. You ever drop a Jell-O pudding cup down the stairs and just watch it go everywhere? That's what it looks like if you're not watching this on YouTube.
Breaking news dance.
Which breaking news are we starting with? Because we have two.
All right, let's go with the Denver Broncos.
Randy Gregory, 5 years, $70 million, and you just gave it a big old flusher down the potty.
That one exploded quickly.
It did. He was replaced by Nick Benito last week, who had the forced fumble on Justin Fields that started many of the good things that happened for the Denver Broncos. You're going to call me a conspiracy theorist here. I have a bit of a belief as to why that happened.
Okay.
Who do they play this week?
The New York Jets.
Who did Sean Payton open his mouth and insert his foot about?
The New York Jets.
That's the ones. This was a statement of, fellas, I'm not beholden to how much money you make. I am not beholden to who you are, what your name is. I don't care. Because this is a week that you better not let me down. Or I will be the face on every YouTube stream, every national media outlet, everything, if you don't show up this week.
The worst case scenario here is that the Denver Broncos come out and get scattered, smothered, and covered against Zach Wilson, of all people.
And a full workload of Breece Hall, which we will talk about later in this here program.
Oh, it's coming. Breece Hall Day is coming.
It is coming. It's coming this Sunday.
I honestly did. I felt the same way. I looked at this, and as soon as I heard it, I thought, that's the shot across the bow to Russell Wilson.
No doubt.
He's been threatening it, right? Well, not really threatening it, right? He's not been out in the media talking about Sean Payton, saying that Russell Wilson's job is in jeopardy, but he kind of has. Like when the Jarrett Stidham talk came up in the preseason, what was he out there saying? He's going to get a shot. He'll get a shot to prove himself. I'm going to play the right one, blah, 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 blah. We all knew at the time that, it was going to be Russell Wilson. He knew that at the time.
For now.
But the question is, will it be Russell Wilson forever? You've been telling me that this day's coming. And I've been telling you you're crazy.
And I've never been more sure of it than I am right now.
Yeah, I mean, what's he supposed to do? How does Russell save his job? If he's really on this thin ice.
I think everybody in Denver's on thin ice.
No doubt. The only one safe there is Sean Payton.
And the thing that and I can see this coming. I see this in the offing, and it's going to drive me crazy. Of that Denver fans and Russell Wilson apologists are going to say, well, statistically, it's not Russell's fault. I hear it coming. I know it's coming. You're not listening to what I'm saying. Am I telling you that Russ is the problem? Not necessarily in terms of on-field play, on-field production, things like that. I'm not telling you that that's the problem. What I'm telling you is that there is a gigantic culture problem in Denver. And Sean Payton just proved it to me. Because you don't eat that kind of dead money on a guy like Randy Gregory just because you're trying to make a statement. You know this is broken. It's irrevocably broken. This is a Jets game that we could win. Try to change the momentum of the ship. You got 2 wins in a row. I hate to use that major league line, but boys, that's 2 in a row. That's called a winning streak. It's kind of how I feel about Sean Payton at this point.
Right.
And I do think this was to put Russ on notice.
Mm-hmm.
You did a lot of toxic here last year. You've been fine. You haven't been anything to write home about in spite of what people tell me about Russell Wilson. He's been decent enough for your fantasy team. You watch him on the field. He was real good against the god-awful Chicago Bears secondary in the second half.
Mm-hmm.
You were down 28-7.
Yep.
That's the part that seems to be eluding a lot of people. You were down 3 scores to a team I didn't know could score 3 times. That's a problem.
Oh, of course it is.
And I think Sean sees the writing on the wall. I told you Monday, the most confident pick I have this week is the New York Jets. I will give whatever number you want because they are going to come into Denver and they're going to embarrass you. And Russ is next.
Mm-hmm.
Russ is next because there's not many more places to go. Do you view this as anything other than a statement?
No.
Because I really don't buy into we want to play the young guys. We're really committed to the youth movement.
Well, and I believe you are. There's no lies in that, right? They know that these guys are not here for long, right?
So
the
you're
NFL
telling me
stands for not for long.
So you're telling me that the Los Angeles Chargers got something of value. Was it much? No.
Mm-hmm.
They got something of value for statistically and analytically the worst cornerback in the NFL over the last 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
And you couldn't get squat for Randy Gregory? I don't believe you.
Maybe
I don't
not.
believe you in any way. It is too hard to find edge rushers. He's been good at times. Is he overpaid? Yes.
Mm-hmm.
But the guaranteed money stays with you. So I just don't believe nobody offered you anything. He's trying to make a statement.
Yeah,
I'm not dealing with this.
I'm sure they probably floated it out there, and everybody went, I don't really want that. I'm going to take on $10 million or whatever it would be for Randy Gregory. That's not happening. So they might have offered you something, but in the end, maybe the decision came down to that was the straw that broke. There were so many positives to this deal because they're saying that it was, the official statement is it's a mutual parting of the ways. Randy wanted to go somewhere else, and they were like, yeah, go ahead. Go ahead, because you've been awful, right?
Mm-hmm.
You fought to be, on the field. It's been tooth and nail for the last couple of years trying to get you on the field, first place. And, oh, by the way, you weren't very good, and now we've got this kid, Nick Bonito, who just outsnapped you.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead. You want to go? Go. I'm going to eat it either way, right? No team's picking up that salary, and...
Oh, what it would have been in a trade would have not been. Somebody would have picked that up.
Nah, I doubt it.
Look what New England just picked up on J.C. Jackson. Okay.
Yeah, but that's one of Bill's guys.
That's fine.
I think
Randy Gregory was one of Dan Quinn's guys. You're telling me the Dallas Cowboys looked at that and went, no, we wouldn't pay him squat.
Yeah,
if you're
probably
eating that guaranteed money, yeah. And mark my words, that's where he's going to end up.
Mm-hmm. In Dallas.
He'll end up back in Dallas as the third edge rusher behind DeMarcus Lawrence and Micah Parsons.
Oof. I don't know that I would. I don't know that I would bring him. I mean, I'm not saying he's not a useful piece.
He's
I'm just
certainly a
saying,
useful
I don't
piece.
I don't know that I would mess with it. So, I don't know.
Can you ever have enough guys that can rush the passer? No.
Are you going to bring in a malcontent who's not happy with his role?
But he was
that
a
would be my
malcontent
biggest
in Denver that made a mistake. You got to remember, they offered him the same deal he signed in Denver, just with different offset language, because they were worried about some of the off-the-field things and his ability to play and how often he was injured. They didn't want to guarantee all these things, but Denver was desperate. And I told you the day they signed that deal, you're going to regret that.
Yep.
Because
I remember that vividly.
You're asking him to do something he has never done before, and you're paying him like he's been great at it for years.
Yeah, I don't think that they were going to get something of value for him and then went, no, you know what? We're not going to do that deal. We'll just cut him outright to make a statement. No, I don't believe that's true.
Oh, I do. If you're telling me that there was nobody that was willing to do we'll give you a 6th-round pick and you give us a 7th-round pick, I don't believe you. Straight up, I don't believe you, but that doesn't really prove the point.
Mm-hmm.
This is where Sean can walk in and go, that was one of the highest-paid players in the room. We benefited virtually nothing from cutting him.
Yep.
Virtually nothing. Now, we will down the line, but we could have done that in the offseason just as well. I booted him out of this locker room because he wasn't buying into what I'm preaching.
Mm-hmm. And they do.
And if you think it's ironic that happened the week before they play the Jets, I got a bridge to sell you. Because Sean knows it's not been good up until this point. He's been a talking point for weeks. Losing to the Raiders, but that was close.
Mm-hmm.
Losing to the Commanders.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the Commanders are actually not bad. 70-20, that was awful.
Right.
You delayed it for a week with the Bears. You in your home stadium get dog-walked by the Jets like I fully believe is getting ready to happen. It's going to get loud in a hurry.
Give me a final score.
31-6.
Okay.
Russell Wilson against Sauce Gardner. Tell me again how that's going to work out for you.
Oh, it's not going to work well.
I mean, you got to understand, I talk to people in this Jets organization. They don't want to just beat you. They want to embarrass you.
Mm-hmm.
And Nathaniel Hackett, you find it weird that they're taking the reins off Breece Hall the week before they go back to Denver, which is where Breece got hurt last year.
Mm-hmm.
After you talked all this smoke about Nathaniel Hackett, they smell blood in the water. They need a win badly. Yeah, this is one of those times that I'm watching this going, if you bet the opposite side of this, even if I'm wrong and you're right and you bet the other side of this, you don't like your money as much as I do.
Right. Randy Gregory, no longer a member of the Denver Broncos. They'll be on the hook for whatever, somebody else is going to sign him, right?
No doubt.
Somebody else is going to give him something. So Denver, as I understand it, they'll be on the hook for the remainder of his contract this year, minus whatever the new team gives him. Is that right?
That's how
right now he's owed like almost $11 million for the rest.
He's
going to
get a vet minimum deal from somewhere. I'm pretty sure it's going to end up being Dallas.
Mm-hmm.
You got our first. Oh no.
Not one it.
You would think after doing that so many times.
I'm your huckleberry.
Soaring Eagle with our first super chat of the day. So, look, we all know Vance Joseph needs to go, but I'm going to be honest, George Payton needs to be fired first, if not midseason. I'm glad you said that because I'm not sure that that's not the next step. You exiled Randy Gregory. George Payton will be the sacrificial lamb after you get just eviscerated by the Jets, and then it's Russ.
My question is that necessary?
It's what necessary.
We all know that when this hire was made, George Payton was dead. He was lame duck. It was just dead man walking kind of thing. Do you have to do it? Do you have to make that move? Do you have to fire him now? No, you just let it ride till the end of the season. The guy's not got no say in the room anyway.
Did you have to cut Randy Gregory? No.
Is that going to send a message though? If you get rid of the GM?
George Payton would be to the scouting department and to the people in the room back channel. I know a great deal about this Denver Bronco team and the way the inner workings of the front office work. There is, how do I say this? You remember when Auburn went to hire a coach?
Yep.
And I said, there are things at work here that you don't understand.
Mm-hmm.
I feel the same way about Denver.
Oh, okay.
There are things that are happening in that front office that you don't get. And I'm not talking about you specifically. I'm talking about metaphorically.
Right. Everybody doesn't get
There are factions. This is probably the most divided team in the NFL because the only one close, I would say, is Chicago or the Giants. Chicago knows we're all fired. None of us have a shot. There is nothing we can do.
Right.
The Giants, you just paid Daniel Jones. So we got a lot of talent in this coaching staff. We got a lot of talent in this front office, so we're safe. And I'm just looking at Denver going, I know what you're doing, and I don't think it's going to work. Try to make the claim to basically do the same thing Cardinals are doing. All right, we got all these young guys. We know we're not good, but we're going to find pieces. Well, here's the problem. You don't have any pieces. Marvin Mims is one of the only young players you've hit on in the last 4 years, and Sean Payton won't play him. That's not Randy Gregory's fault. That's not George Payton's fault. That's not Russell Wilson's fault. That's Sean Payton's fault. I just think it's funny that now, 4 games into the year, a lot of people are seeing Sean Payton the same way I did. Weird.
You're in the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville. We're back counting down to kickoff. Let's look at today's 3 keys to premium pre-gaming with Beast Unleashed, presented by Monster Brewing. Number 1, beat the heat.
Unleash the beast with bold, familiar flavors, 0 caffeine, and 0 sugar.
Number 2, running the option.
There's 4 to choose from. White Haze, Peach Perfect, Scary Berries, and my personal favorite, Mean Green.
And number 3, at 6% ABV, Max Protect.
Always drink responsibly, and you must be 21 or over.
Beast Unleashed, available at your local retailer.
Running a small business is no small task. At Home Trust Bank, we work hard to prepare businesses for whatever tomorrow may bring. Your dreams are our business, and we have local experts who can help you plan for a successful future. Dependable guidance you need, and service you'll appreciate. At Home Trust Bank, we take your small business banking personally. Visit your local Home Trust branch or anytime at htb.com. Member FDIC.
If cleanliness is next to godliness, look around the car right now. Is that very godly? Look, life comes at you fast, but so does WNC Auto Detailing. They have the tools to make your interior look like it's coming off the showroom floor. You don't believe me? Check them out on Instagram. All that filth and years of stains disappear. WNC Auto Detailing does full interior and exterior details with paint correction, and they do wax and ceramic coatings. Call WNC Auto Detailing at 455-3700. Premium care with a Southern hospitality touch.
Hi, I'm Kyle at Blindster.com. Want to save big on custom faux wood blinds, shutters, cellular shades, and more? Shop Blindster today and save up to 50% over comparable blinds from brick and mortar stores. Get custom blinds at low prices and free shipping at Blindster.com.
Gillette Intimate gives guys a gentle and easy shave on there. And around there. And even under there. Don't treat your groin like junk. Respect it with Gillette Intimate, the best a man can get. Buy now at a retailer near you.
It's Ryan Seacrest here. Check this out. With Boost Infinite, you get the latest iPhone every year and unlimited wireless for just $60 a month. You get the new titanium iPhone 15 Pro that was just announced. Then next year, you get the latest iPhone, and this keeps happening every year. It's Boost Infinite, infinitely better. To switch today or learn more, pick up your phone, dial pound 250, and say Boost Infinite.
Terms apply. After 30 gigabytes, service may be slower. Receive a comparable iPhone model each year with an acceptable trade-in every year. Requires credit qualification and 36-month phone financing agreement. You'll have the option to receive a one-time auto-dial text message from iHeartMedia.
Some days, my active psoriatic arthritis makes it hard to get in the game. Now, the ball is in my court, thanks to treating my skin and joints with Skyrizi, Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150-milligram injection for adults.
Nothing is everything.
Skyrizi helps with less joint pain, stiffness, swelling, and fatigue. For those who also have plaque psoriasis, 90% clearer skin is possible with just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or a lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check for infection and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms such as fever, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough, or if you plan to or recently received a vaccine.
With Skyrizi, there's nothing like clearer skin and better movement, and that means everything. Ask your doctor today about Skyrizi and visit Skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKYRIZI to learn more.
Who's gonna break the news? Who's gonna break the news? Who's gonna break the news? Who's gonna break the news?
Again, it's a double tank dance day.
Tank doesn't understand that until we speak, you can't see us. So his little dance is done under the cloak of another screen. Why are you sticking your tongue out when you're doing that?
I don't know, but
that's weird.
I'm
like
feeling
that.
the groove now, and I can't stop.
Yeah.
I just got to dance.
Yeah, I don't like that. J.C. Jackson has been traded back to the New England Patriots.
Of course he did.
Later on today in the Daily Draft, we will be drafting the worst free agent signings of the last X number of years.
In recent memory? Is this one of those that your name's on the door, I'll make it up when I get there?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I haven't actually. I've got a bunch. I just don't know what years they happened because I didn't get that far.
Of the last 5 years. Well, here's one from 10 years ago, but it was so bad I got to get it in here.
Tremaine Johnson. Tremaine Johnson was bad enough that he belongs on this list, even if it was the worst signings of this year.
J.C. Jackson, he was an all-pro in New England. Then he went to Los Angeles and forgot how to play football.
Well, he just doesn't fit that scheme at all. I really believe that he'll go to New England and he'll be fine.
Of course he will.
That's not really the problem. The problem is that now with no Matthew Judon, you can't get after the quarterback. So, I mean, you can add all the pieces of that secondary you want to. That's fine. You're still down your best pass rusher.
Mm-hmm.
And I would say at best what you get of J.C. Jackson is what you were already getting from Christian Gonzalez.
But now when Christian Gonzalez comes back.
Well, he's done for the year. So if you want to talk about 2024.
But that's what this move was, right? JC's not doing his thing in L.A., and so we're going to bring him back to the familiar confines, and we're moving forward. Bill's looking to next year. He ain't thinking about packing this thing in. He's trying to build this deal. He's building the next dynasty, baby.
Yeah.
This is all inside his brain.
Yeah. I'm going to disagree.
You do? You don't think so?
Well, I mean, right now, this move to me screams a desperate man that doesn't want to go down the way he sees himself going down. And I don't think this actually changed anything for you. I mean, at the end of the day, okay, so now you've got it. Let's say he returns to everything he was with Bill. Awesome. What's on the other side? I'm not real scared of that. To me, this reeks of desperation. This is a move that nobody else in the NFL would have made.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well, we only gave up a late pick swap. Well, that's good because Bill would probably have burned it on a punter anyway.
What happens to the money?
I don't know exactly what happens to the money. I know what would have happened just looking at JC's deal. And I cannot imagine that Bill if he took that on, he's even crazier than I thought he was. Let's see. They reworked the remainder of the deal. This is from Jeremy Fowler. Just came out a little bit ago. New England's covering around $1.5 million. Chargers are covering the rest in a signing bonus. So Bill got him for virtually nothing.
Yeah.
They had to eat all the money just to get the late round pick swap.
Okay.
And that's fine.
But the rest of the deal, right? Because he was on a 5-year deal.
Mm-hmm.
So what happens to the years that are left? That's
I don't know. That goes into the reworking of the deal.
Right. But that's what I'm saying. Like, that's the question that I have now.
I don't really care if you got him for $1.5 million per year every year for the next 4 years. That doesn't mean squat to me.
I mean, it matters to the team for sure.
All right.
I mean, but you're bringing in a guy who's had success in this scheme before. I don't see how this is a bad deal.
I'm not necessarily telling you it's a bad deal. I just don't really care.
Well, okay.
And
that's fair.
Well, I mean, you're adding a player here that, okay, yeah, he's better than what you would have trotted out there.
Mm-hmm.
You play the Saints and the Raiders the next 2 weeks. Okay. If you can get him acclimated enough to get him on the field this week, he probably helps. And let's say you win those two. Bills, Dolphins, good luck.
Mm-hmm.
Then you got a few winnable ones, and you'll get annihilated on the backside of the schedule.
Yep. This wasn't a move made for this year, though.
I don't agree with you.
Really?
I fully believe this was a move made for this year because you're looking at 2 winnable games in a row, and Bill really doesn't want to be 1-5.
Mm-hmm.
I can't even tell you J.C. Jackson's going to be on this team at the end of this year because he could just be bad.
Maybe
Brandon Staley's not the moron that we all think he is. and J.C. Jackson got paid, got fat, got lazy, and stopped working. I'm not telling you that's what happened.
Right.
I'm just saying everybody's treating this like he's going to go back to Bill, and all of a sudden he's going to be the 8th best corner in the NFL again. Or he could be the same bum that every single team that's played the Chargers for 2 years has picked on.
Yeah. Yeah, he very well could be. But at $1.5 million, it's not much skin off my nose if I'm the New England Patriots.
And again, I'm not disputing that. It's just this is a team that means absolutely nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Your best pass rusher right now is who? Josh Uche?
Probably.
Okay, let the good times roll. And we'll stick J.C. Jackson and Miles Bryant and Jonathan Jones back behind that. And
it keeps
every good quarterback's going to kill you.
It keeps you good enough. All right, it wins you enough games to where, I don't know, maybe they're not demanding any longer that you just call it quits. Bill, as much as he shows that, I don't care what the media says about me. He hears this. He sees the front page of the Boston Globe sports section every day talking about Bill's lost it.
Yeah, Alex Majabi, rest of the deal's covered by New England next year.
There you go.
That's dumb.
Yeah.
That you literally could have just taken one of the worst free agent signings of my lifetime and said, yeah, we'll take that. Yeah, bring it back over here.
Mm-hmm.
Because this is what Bill does. This is the reason that that I have been screaming this Bill Belichick thing for so long. Because you're right. Bill is doing what's better for Bill. Is Bill doing what's better for New England?
No.
Then why am I allowing you to do this?
Because I'm Bill Belichick. Because I have 6 rings, and you can't tell me to leave.
You keep saying that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you can.
I'd bet my house that it doesn't happen.
I would.
Robert Kraft is not going to frog march him out the door.
Okay, he did it with Tom Brady.
Oh.
He walked Tom out the door.
Mm-hmm.
He wanted to keep Jimmy Garoppolo, then didn't want to pay Tom. Tom walks to Tampa Bay, and you're telling me he won't do it to Bill Belichick?
Yeah, I don't think so.
Come on. I don't know who you think Bob Kraft is. I respect him as much as any owner in pro sports, and the reason is because I didn't think it would ever get to this point.
Mm-hmm.
Now you're going to eat this whole deal for J.C. Jackson after 2023. And what exactly does that earn you? Is there any path of this team making the playoffs as currently constituted in the next 3 years?
No.
So you just think Bob's going to show up and, yeah, you know what? We're mediocre as all get out. We're the most mediocre team in the NFL, and I'm just going to keep signing up for that because you were good 10 years ago.
I'm Bill Belichick, and I have a plan. And I feel like that's all it's going to take.
I don't.
It's for him to go next year.
And I'll be honest with you.
We're going to be great. Next year, we're going to be all-time defensive kind of a team. We're going to have 2 shutdown corners.
How many years in a row do you get to tell me that before I go, your plan is stupid?
I get it.
Your plan is currently rivaling the Republicans of, we're going to do this, but what's your plan? Hell, I don't know. We're going to do something. I was getting that in today. I was getting that in today if it killed me.
I don't know. We'll figure it. Screw it. We'll do it live.
Yeah, it's going to be Foghorn Leghorn. Boy, I say, I call this Congress into order.
Oh, that's funny.
I just, and I'll be honest with you, this is the difference between me and you two.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're okay with it. You would do, you're more of a sentimental. Oh, yes. You won me 6 rings, so you can just suck on ice for the next 20 years and I'm not going to fire you. For me, I'm at 4 years. You're worse right now than you were 4 years ago, and you have gotten worse every single year.
Mm-hmm.
Bill, buddy, we're going to have a serious chat. You can do it, or I can do it. And I guarantee you Bob Kraft is closer to me than he is to you.
Maybe.
The sentiment is what bought you the last 4 years. There is no path that somebody that smart is looking at this going, oh, yeah, we're fine. We're fine. We'll just keep it. This is like the Titanic, and you're trying to fix it with Flex Seal. Like, they made a boat. I saw it. It was in the commercial. He was driving it down the water, and it was covered in Flex Seal. Yeah, there's a boat under there, stupid. You go build that boat and then sink, because that's what you're going to do. And that's the New England Patriots in a nutshell.
Yeah.
Look at our duct tape boat. Why is there water in it? I don't believe this holds as well as I was told it does. I do not believe the structural integrity of this boat is enough to keep us afloat.
Yeah, I just, I'll have to see it to believe it. I think a guy like that has a lot of leeway. And I'll be truly shocked if they walk him out the door.
I don't know that you'll ever know it. It'll be Bill's ready to just, I'm on to the golf course. Wonder where that came from. Get out!
Is this potentially the last move that he makes?
Right?
He's still GM, right? He's still de facto GM.
He's still the one making all the calls.
So he's the one that called the shot on this, right?
Well, and
did he have to run this up
the
flagpole to anybody? Did he have to go to Robert and say, "Hey, Bob, buddy, old pal"?
Well, you're spending his money, so I'm gonna assume he knew you were doing it before you did.
I don't know what that chain of command is. I don't know what this is, but maybe this is one of those moves that gets made, and you go, "Oh, wait a minute." Okay, Bill, that's the last time you're going to make a move that's going to put us in a hole 4 years from now, because I don't know if you're going to be here.
Well, like the fourth kicker you drafted, I think you probably lost all that platitude.
I don't know.
You're looking at this a completely different way than I did.
Mm-hmm.
I told you on Monday, I think Bob Kraft walked into that office and said, "We're not doing that again. We are not getting beat 38-3 on national television. No."
Mm-hmm.
And now Bill has made a desperation move to prove that he's still Bill Belichick, and I think it's going to blow up in your face. Because I don't care if you bring in J.C. Jackson and Ty Law and Richard Seymour, your offense is still awful. So unless Tom is trotting back in there, you're as irrelevant as you have been for the last presidential term, and that ain't changing.
That's when we know they're really desperate, when they bring Tom Brady back.
At this point,
we're going to know.
They have a better chance of bringing back Steve Grogan. So
you're in the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Coolest weather since likely last spring. Well, minus maybe a couple of days where it's rained here this fall, but it's on the way. We're going to see some nighttime lows potentially in the 30s. Today, sunny 80, tonight clear 53. Tomorrow, a little fog early, then sunshine in the upper 70s. Chance of showers Friday, 76, and then upper 50s to low 60s for high temperatures over the weekend. From the Weather Channel, I'm Ray Stajic.
This report is sponsored by Blindster.com.
Hi, I'm Kyle at Blindster.com. Want to save big on custom faux wood blinds, shutters, cellular shades, and more? Shop Blindster today and save up to 50% over comparable blinds from brick-and-mortar stores. Get custom blinds at low prices and free shipping at Blindster.com.
Hey, if you're thinking about getting the latest iPhone, check this out. With Boost Infinite, you get the latest iPhone every year and unlimited wireless for just $60 a month. Yeah, you get the new titanium iPhone 15 Pro that was just announced. Then again, next year, you get the latest iPhone every year. Boost Infinite. Infinitely better. To learn more, pick up your phone, dial pound 250 and say Boost Infinite. That's pound 250 and say Boost Infinite. Terms apply. After 30 gigabytes, service may be slow. Receive a comparable iPhone model each year with an acceptable trade-in every year. Requires credit qualification and 36-month phone financing agreement. You'll have the option to receive a one-time auto-dial text message from iHeartMedia.
This new Wendy's Frosty flavor is way too exciting to keep under wraps. It's a brand new, first-of-its-kind flavor. Get this. Pumpkin spice. I know, right? It's so good. It's rich, it's cozy. It's the perfect flavor for some fall frosty time. Watch, everyone will see it and jump on the bandwagon. Grab a never-before-seen pumpkin spice frosty or pumpkin spice frosty cream cold brew today when you choose wisely. Choose Wendy's.
Limited time only. Participating U.S. Wendy's. Vanilla Frosty is temporarily unavailable.
Hi, I'm Kyle at Blindster.com. Want to save big on custom faux wood blinds, shutters, cellular shades, and more? Shop Blindster today and save up to 50% over comparable blinds from brick-and-mortar stores. Get custom blinds at low prices and free shipping at Blindster.com.
I believe real estate isn't about properties. It's about people. I'm Clarissa Hyatt-Zach with eXp Realty, serving all of Western North Carolina. Navigating the home buying and selling journey can feel overwhelming at times, and that's why having an agent who cares about you and your needs is key. I'm a native of Western North Carolina, and I close over a home a week. I'm an expert in the market, pricing my sellers correctly to net you the most money, and working as a skilled negotiator for my buyers. Please give me a call today at 828-774-6343 to set up a complimentary market analysis.
The season we've all been waiting for is here.
No, not that one. The season of the Big Orange Tent is underway in Western North Carolina. The area's largest selection of Halloween costumes, decorations, and accessories is at the Big Orange Tent at the Asheville Mall. Halloween Express is your one-stop shop for adult and child costumes, superheroes, horror icons, inflatable suits. You can find it all under the Big Orange Tent at the Asheville Mall. 10 to 8 Monday through Saturday, 12 to 6 on Sundays.
The Asheville Championship returns to Harrah's Cherokee Center in Asheville November 10th and 12th. This year's field is the best yet. The Clemson Tigers, Maryland Terrapins, Davidson Wildcats, and the Blazers of UAB. 4 exciting matchups with a champion to be crowned in one of the premier early season tournaments in college basketball. For more information and to get your tickets, go to AshevilleChampionship.com. That's AshevilleChampionship.com. It all starts in Asheville November 10th and 12th. Proudly sponsored by Ingalls Markets.
Boy, you must be outside your mind.
The Sportsocracy.
Just a bit outside. He tried the corner and missed.
Back in the Ingalls studio on ESPN Asheville is the Sportsocracy. Time to get just a bit outside, and I love pranks. Pranks are always fun, and Dame Lillard got. He told the story, so we're doing media days, right? Because the NBA season's right around the corner. I know we're all wrapped up in football, so we don't even know that that's happening. But they've been doing media days, and Dame sat down for an interview with NBA TV, where he tells the story of how it transpired the day he was traded from the Portland Trail Blazers to the Milwaukee Bucks. And he says right before the news came in from his agent of where he was going, he thought he got a tip from a friend what his ultimate fate was going to be. OG Anunoby of the Toronto Raptors, apparently moments before he got the actual news that he was going to Milwaukee, he got a text message from OG that said, "Welcome to Toronto." Which I'm sure sent Dame into a mental spiral of, oh no. I mean, I wanted to go somewhere, but really? Canada? I don't know that I want to do that.
Hey,
I mean, I guess I get the Drake treatment at that point.
That would have been the biggest detriment. Is now I have to be friends with Drake. I'm a pass.
I don't know. He's a rapper.
I've seen how
he's
annoying.
a rapper too. Maybe they could do a song together or something. I don't know.
I'm good.
So anyway, he said he looked at his phone and he went, "Oh no, that can't be real." And then he called OG and he didn't answer. And then Anunoby called him back and didn't say anything and was just laughing hysterically. And then about 5 seconds after that, he said the phone rang. It was his agent. And guess what? You're going to an actual contender in the Eastern Conference. So it all worked out in the end for Dame, I think. I think he might have been on suicide watch if they'd have sent him to Toronto.
Well, that was the rumor before Milwaukee. That was the last I had heard.
Right.
Was he was going to Toronto.
Toronto's a sneaky option for Dame Lillard. Nope. Not so much.
Do you know the name Bernie Fratto?
Fratto? No.
He is a Fox Sports radio host in Detroit.
Okay.
National guy, does pre-games for the Detroit Lions, and on the old Xbox, nope, that doesn't work, Twitter box, he put out a little tweet yesterday that said, "My best mole tells me Urban Meyer will interview for the Michigan State job this week.
Oh, really?
Stay tuned. Yes, it's real. It's possible. He has a lot of backers, so we'll see where this goes." And I've heard this rumor that Michigan State would put out the interest gauge on Urban Meyer.
Uh-huh.
Well, you don't want to put out your feelers because he already got in trouble for that. And the only thing I could think about was, so let me get this straight. You fired a coach that you paid $10 million a year for doing hand stuff on the phone talking to the HR girl. And now you're going to bring in the coach that got fired for not flying with his team to go boot scooting with some little teeny bopper in Cincinnati. Do you not see how stupid that is? Do I have to spell this out for you?
But this one might win. I mean, at least there's that.
He might.
You weren't winning games with Mel Tucker, that's for sure.
No. I can't. You said when he got fired in Jacksonville that he was done forever, and I went, no, he's not.
Yeah. I remember that.
I can't see this being your landing spot.
No. This is a PR nightmare already.
Oh, no doubt.
Like, come on. I wouldn't even poke around this one.
Oh, Lord.
Sorry.
I think that's what got Urban in trouble in the first place.
Look, I'm sure they'll figure it out.
Oh, no. Yeah. Michigan State is this is one of those times that the jokes we're telling, trust me, it'll get markedly worse if you actually do this.
You cannot do this. Michigan State has, I mean, that's been a program that has been on, probation's not the right word to use because, I mean, they have actually been on probation for a while. But, I mean, you get what I'm saying? Like, they're on, like, double secret probation. Like, anything that happens around this program now just sends up massive red flags. So, you went, think about...
Which you should have had massive red flags about your last head coach, but...
Well, but, I mean, it's not just the football program, right? It's the basketball program, too.
Mel,
all of those, Hey,
Mel, why are there so many 900 numbers on your cell phone bill? Oh, it just likes to talk it out.
Michigan State, don't
do it.
Go there.
It's a bad idea.
Not good.
It's a bad idea.
That it is. Is it time to have that discussion? We were just talking about Bill Belichick and his seat getting possibly warm.
I don't think it's just warm. I think you could boil soup on it at this point.
Yeah, I'm not going down that path, but
let's take a look. The fact that you keep saying, but before we get into this, the fact that you keep saying that. Okay, compare Robert Kraft to another owner in the NFL.
Okay.
If you had to say there was another owner in the NFL that was like him, who would it be?
I don't know.
It's a very... No.
Maybe. I don't know.
It's Jerry Jones.
Yeah, he doesn't talk as much.
No, but they're both businessmen that are all about growing the brand.
Okay.
Look at how much the product of New England has grown in his tenure.
Mm-hmm.
How long do you think Jerry Jones would put up with this? I'm not saying they're the same guy. I'm saying
8 years. We saw it with Jason Garrett. How long did he stick with Jason? Because Jason's my guy, right? Jason didn't win you anything. Yeah, I mean, I could be completely off base on this, and you may be right. Like, Robert Kraft may be just counting the seconds. Every morning he gets up, and he's like psyching himself up in front of the mirror, brushing his teeth, like, today's the day. Today's the day. I'm going to fire him. I know I'm going to go in there, and I'm going to say, Bill, I've had enough of the losing, and we're done with this thing. But every day he goes back in there, and he passes by those 6 Super Bowl trophies and goes, I can't do this. I can't do this.
Well, where I was headed was not so much Jason Garrett. That was when you become resigned to losing and you've got the devil that you know. I was more talking about Jimmy Johnson.
Yeah, I get it. I get the comparison you were trying to make.
And Chris D said they're opposite in terms of management style. I agree with you. I'm not saying they're the same guy. I'm saying in terms of personality. I'm a businessman that's all about the dollars and cents and winning. It didn't take long for Jerry to go, Now, with Jimmy Johnson, it was you're getting too much spotlight. It's coming off of me. And then you went down the Barry Switzer, the Bill Parcells. Who's that other one with the weird hair that looked like he got it curled at his local slot? Dave Campo.
That was a good one.
Yeah. Chan Gailey. Didn't it feel like Jerry was just throwing darts at a board like that one?
Yeah. Yeah, for a long time.
I trust his face.
And then he found the guy.
I believe in Chan Gailey.
And then he found the guy that he could control, and he hung on to him for way too long. See, when I knew where you were going, but my mind went to Jason Garrett, because one thing that happens with guys like that is that they are also loyal to a fault.
I agree with that.
And you've talked about that a lot with Jerry and his players, right? Ezekiel Elliott, Dak Prescott. Like, these are my guys. I want to keep them around. I'm going to overpay them and put myself in bad situations, blah, 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 blah. Robert Kraft owes everything to Bill Belichick. This team would not be what it is today. This franchise would not nearly be worth what it is today without Bill Belichick.
Well, our resident Canadian.
I'm your huckleberry.
And New England Patriot fan, armchair commentary. Bob will fire Bill, but it won't be in season. He'll give him a respectful chance to walk, in my opinion, and I think that's how this ends.
Mm-hmm.
He's not going to come out and go, oh, look, I'm firing Bill Belichick. No. I don't want to be that jerk because there's still Patriot fans that love Bill. But we're going to have that golden handshake of, hey, buddy, ring of honor, got a spot, old Billy Boy's name on it. But you're going to have to not let that door hit you where the good Lord split you.
Right. It's time, and I think we all see it's time. I mean, Armchair will admit it's time to move on from the Bill Belichick era. We can start a new one. But I just don't know how close we are to the end.
Now, we are close to the end with just a few other coaches. If you had to say there was a 10 hot seat right now, who is it?
A 10 hot seat? I want to say Josh McDaniel.
Well, I mean, you got to give Mark Davis enough time to roll quarters to pay his buyout. So, I mean, he's been getting his hair cut at home for a long time trying to save up.
Right. I don't know.
Brandon Staley's the obvious 10.
Well,
of you're one.
Haven't they done that already? I've already chalked that up in my mind of that's happening.
Well, I mean, we have, but the Chargers haven't. Because I think he's given you no less than 14 reasons to fire him. You just keep not doing it. Which doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. But what about some of these other guys? McDaniel and Staley are the two obvious ones.
Mm-hmm.
Zach Taylor. How far down this rabbit hole does this have to go before we start going, wait a minute? Are you sure he's a great coach? Or is it possible that you don't have a counterpunch outside of Joe Burr?
I would say that's highly likely.
How bad do they have to be?
I would say this season.
Like they go 5-12. Does he get fired?
Yes. I would say, especially if Joe plays. Right, if nothing else happens with the calf and he misses no more time and whatever, and they do that, 100%, he's done.
You don't get any love for taking the franchise to new heights. Just remember, how long did they stick with Marvin Lewis?
It starts at 8 for me. Oh, I'm not going down the Marvin Lewis path, right? We've changed, right? We've turned the page. We're not doing this anymore. We're not tying ourselves to mediocre coaches just because they can take us to the playoffs.
We have white kitty cat helmets now.
Absolutely.
We're not the same old team.
This used to be the dumpster fire franchise that you held on to anything good because you didn't know when you were going to get it again, right? You've got the best thing you've ever had, and it's not your coach. And it's the offense, right? It's this concoction of weapons. We've caught this lightning in a bottle, and we have to strike now, or we're never going to do it. Zach Taylor is I'll go down the path with you. Absolutely. If he doesn't get 8 wins out of this team this year, done.
And then that would immediately be the most attractive job on the market by 100%. A mile. Armchair in our YouTube chat said Matt Eberflus. I feel like that's a foregone conclusion. But Chicago has a real-life big boy problem that nobody has talked about.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say you fire Matt Eberflus, because, I mean, he's done at the end of the year regardless. But if you fire him right now, who do you promote? Can you name a coach on that staff?
No.
Luke Getsy's the offensive coordinator.
Okay.
That's who I think it would be.
Probably.
There's been a groundswell for Andrew Giannacco. It's the quarterback's coach. of which if there was any position that does not need to be promoted to anything here, it's whoever's coaching the quarterbacks for the Chicago Bears.
That's your worst position.
But I will say that was a bold strategy by Matt Eberflus. You can't fire me if there's not a coach on this staff that you trust to coach this team.
Second level.
Job security. Next level, three-dimensional
Who's
chess.
on the defensive staff?
Oh, a slew of names.
Just nobodies. Just nobodies.
Oh, they don't have a defensive coordinator.
I know.
Because the defensive coordinator.
Right. That's Eberflus.
He was doing something weird. We don't know exactly what it was. And then your special teams coordinator is Richard Hightower.
Yes. Hightower. I feel like that's a thing that's going to happen at the end of the season. I don't know that could it get bad enough in Chicago that you fire him in the middle of the season? What is that going to solve?
I'm not.
Because you have nowhere to turn. You don't have a second act here, right?
No.
This is what you've put out there. You've put all of your free agency dollars on the field, and I don't have anything. Okay, so I fire Matt Eberflus. Luke Getzey going to come in here, and is he going to put Tyson Bagent in at quarterback, and we're going to turn this thing around? No.
See, I feel like now the Chicago Bears are like the Tank Spencer in a fight.
Okay.
I want to whip your hindquarters.
100%.
And somebody like me is just going to put their finger on your forehead and just go, nope. This is how you get to stop hitting yourself. Stop hitting yourself. Why are you doing that? There's nothing you can do.
No.
You can have all the best intentions in the world. You don't have any talent. You're not any good.
Stop looking at me when you say that because it's starting to cut through and it hurts. It hurts me a little.
Well, I mean, you're good at a lot of things. It's just, if we were picking sides for a big brawl.
You're just a big old pudding pants, ain't you? Shut up.
If we were picking sides for a fight, I'd ask you to go get me a sandwich so I had something for after it was over. We all have our roles.
I got refreshments, guys. Y'all have fun.
We all have our...
You guys go fight. I'll have Kool-Aid when you're done.
Tank shows up with sweet tea and lemon squares. Right. You all look very...
Who needs orange slices? You gotta re-energize. Way to go, fellas.
Oh, boy.
Saw that left hook. That was good, Johnny.
Oh, boy.
Jimmy, you got to watch the kicking, though. That was a little low blow.
Oh, boy.
And this is how I got out of a lot of fights as a kid.
Jokes.
I'm going to beat that fat kid up. Nope. You're going to be laughing before you get to the end of it.
Make them laugh.
No, sir. Yeah. No, I'm not useful in a fight at all. And the Chicago Bears, that was probably the best comparison you've ever made on this program. Is absolutely. The Chicago Bears are like me in a fight. Like, I'm just going to direct you. Hey, look over here. Yeah. Don't look over here.
Don't punch me right here. This is bad. This is where I make the monies. Others that I'm looking at now, Dennis Allen.
Yeah.
If you don't win this division, he's fired.
Yeah.
No doubt.
Yeah.
Somebody in the YouTube comments said Brian Daboll.
No.
Daboll, he's got a lot of platitude. I brought you a lot of happy last year, and I'm the only one that's made Daniel Jones not look like a complete bust.
Yep. I don't feel like he's on any kind of a hot seat. You might be disappointed from Coach of the Year last year to what this team looks like now, but still trust in the coach, right?
And unfortunately for you, another coach that was on the hot seat, and his seat has now become markedly more tepid. Todd Bowles.
You're in the Sportsocracy.
I don't want to talk about it.
I don't want to talk about it. You're in the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN. Asheville Jeremy's got bangers for tonight. Wait, tonight? Wednesday night. There's college football tonight. He's got bangers next.
The season we've all been waiting for is here. No, not that one. The season of the Big Orange Tent is underway in Western North Carolina. The area's largest selection of Halloween costumes, decorations, and accessories is at the Big Orange Tent at the Asheville Mall. Halloween Express is your one-stop shop for adult and child costumes, superheroes, horror icons, inflatable suits. You can find it all under the Big Orange Tent at the Asheville Mall. 10 to 8 Monday through Saturday, 12 to 6 on Sundays.
Real estate isn't about properties, it's about people. I'm Clarissa Hyatt Zach with eXp Realty, your native realtor serving all of Western North Carolina. I will work hard for you, and I believe in doing the right thing every time. I market each of my listings to reach out-of-town buyers. I use a professional photographer and drone video on every single listing, as well as collaborate with agents across the country to find your buyer. Check me out online at clarissasellswnc.com or give me a call at 828-774-6343. It would be my pleasure to assist you through the real estate process.
At Ingles, we're proud to sponsor area athletics at all levels. Whether we're building new fields for T-ball, celebrating Friday night rivals, televising college basketball games, bringing the Fan Fest to semi-pro soccer, or taking you out to the ball game at your minor league park. We're here for the fans. No one gets the dedication to the home team like you guys. And we've got all the sports you can handle. It's all in the bag. Ingles. Low prices. Love the savings.
Thursday, October 26th, the Orange Peel presents Guar. Get your tickets now online at theorangepeel.net. Don't miss Guar live October 26th. See you at the Peel.
This week at Macy's, find your signature fall look with big savings on incredible specials. Like 30 to 50% off cool weather coats for him and her. 40 to 60% off designer suits and blazers he can dress up or down. And 30 to 40% off the season's must-have boots and shoes during the Great Shoe Sale. Or use your coupon or Macy's card and take an extra 20% off more great deals at Macy's. Savings off sale and clearance prices. Exclusions apply.
Why is iHeartRadio the #1 streaming radio app?
Free music.
Free live radio stations from all over the country.
Free podcasts. Free playlists.
Free contests. Free artist radio stations.
Commercial-free stations. It's free. I love iHeartRadio. Join the millions of music, radio, and podcast fans on the #1 streaming radio app now.
iHeartRadio.
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 Free never sounded so good.
How powerful are new power scratch-offs? More powerful than this hair metal band's signature scream.
No way, baby!
Power scratch-offs are packed with prizes and have power spots for more cash wins.
Show me the money! Feel the power of a win!
With power scratch-offs from the North Carolina Education Lottery. Must be 18 to play. Approximate overall odds of winning range from 1 in 3.23 to 4.57. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543.
Coffee's for closers only. Get them the money. Then when you get the money, you get the power. That watch costs more than your car. Then when you get the power, then you get the woman.
Nothing starts a week of football like watching the Gamecocks. No, not the good ones, the Jacksonville State ones. We got Conference USA action on a Wednesday. Is it good football? No, but it's better than anything Taylor Swift. This is Green on Green, brought to you by Ingles Markets. Low prices, love the savings. Jacksonville State travels to Middle Tennessee State, over under 52. Jacksonville State's a 3.5-point dog. That's the dumbest thing I think I've ever heard in my life. Middle Tennessee State has one victory all year, and it's against something called a Murray State. I don't really put much credence into that. And the Fighting Rich Rodriguezes are actually pretty good. They're going to run the ball down Middle Tennessee State's throat. Give me Jacksonville State plus the 3.5. I'll take them in the money line to win outright under 52. This is not going to be fun to watch. Speaking of not fun to watch, Florida International travels to New Mexico State. And if we can keep the quarterback from whizzing on the 50-yard line, that actually might be the most interesting part of this game. Don't do it, but it'll be a lot more interesting than football on the field. FIU's a 6.5-point dog, over-under's 49. I'm not sure these two teams could score 49 points on themselves or on a high school team or on a group of Girl Scouts. This is going to be ugly at best. Wager, don't watch. Give me FIU plus the 6.5. New Mexico State wins over the 49. But barely. For more, find us on all the social medias at the Sportsocracy. And as always, love the savings with Ingles, love the winnings with me. Mull it out.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Coolest weather since likely last spring. Well, minus maybe a couple of days where it's rain here this fall, but it's on the way. We're going to see some nighttime lows potentially in the 30s. Today, sunny 80, tonight clear 53. Tomorrow, little fog early, then sunshine in the upper 70s. Chance of showers Friday, 76, and then upper 50s to low 60s for high temperatures over the weekend. From the Weather Channel, I'm Ray Stajic.
The best season of the year is here.
Tailgate season.
Monster Brewing presents this season's MVP.
The Beast Unleashed.
With 4 bold, familiar flavors.
With 0 caffeine and 0 sugar.
Beast Unleashed is your new pregame ritual.
With white haze, mean green, peach perfect, and scary berries, there's a flavor for every fan.
The Beast
Unleashed.
6% alcohol by volume. Unleashed responsibly. Must be 21 or over. Beast Unleashed. Available at your local retailer. The Asheville Championship returns to Harrah's Cherokee Center in Asheville November 10th and 12th. This year's field is the best yet. The Clemson Tigers, Maryland Terrapins, Davidson Wildcats, and the Blazers of UAB. 4 exciting matchups with a champion to be crowned at one of the premier early season tournaments in college basketball. For more information and to get your tickets, go to AshevilleChampionship.com. That's AshevilleChampionship.com. It all starts in Asheville November 10th and 12th. Proudly sponsored by Ingles Market.
From the Ingles Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart Radio Station.
Now, your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website, bank. That's bank. Enter it now.
Log on now to ESPNAVL.com.
The Sportsocracy.
It fires me up, man. I love it. Say it one more time.
The Sportsocracy.
Shake it back!
Beer City's best sports talk.
It is gross.
Just earlier.
They are mature, actually. You just have to get to know them better.
Your lunchtime dose of dumbassery. Live from the Ingles studio.
Welcome into the Sportsocracy, ESPN Asheville. This microphone won't stay in the same place. It just like it keeps like moving back.
Well, you know how you can fix that? You can sit down.
No. If I do that, you can't see me at all.
As the only person that really affects, I'm okay with that. There are no objections from this end of the table.
Smart Alec. It is the Sportsocracy. This is the ESPN Asheville. We are live in the Ingles studio. 92.9 FM, 880 AM, 1400. We're heard everywhere around the world on the iHeart Radio app. Seen everywhere on YouTube. Go to thesportsocracy.com. Click that live video link and subscribe to the channel.
And you can get involved with the conversation, and one of the ways to do that's with a super chat, which our buddy Rich Vitale did.
I'm your huckleberry.
So after the next 4 games, which teams switch from where they stand now for better or worse? That's a really interesting topic to me.
It is. After the next 4 games, which teams switch from where they stand now better or worse? Well, I hadn't really considered that much. I
had 3 off the top of my head.
I'm gonna say over the next 4 games, we're probably gonna figure out that Tampa's not as good.
That was one of the ones that I was thinking. Glad you said it, so I didn't have to be the jerk. But you play the Lions and the Bills and the Falcons and the Texans, and I'm not sure that all 4 of those teams are better than you.
Yeah, I'm not going there, but it's much closer than I'd like it to be.
Well, 3 of them would be kind of hard for you to dispute. And then you get to those dirty birds, and I don't know. I just feel like at some point they're going to make a move of some kind with Desmond Ridder, and you see how good that team actually is.
You think Houston is that much better than Tampa?
I don't know. I know they're playing better than you. I know C.J. Stroud looks like the shoe-in rookie of the year at this point.
Yeah, they're putting up better offensive stats.
But now they were the second team that I was thinking of was the Houston Texans.
Okay.
Is that you could see that come just careening back to earth. But I don't think it happens in the next 4 games because you play all of the teams from the NFC South.
Mm-hmm. We will continue to have a skewed look at them because of that. Call me crazy, but I think after the next 4 games, we might be looking at the Dallas Cowboys a little bit differently. I mean, they go Niners, Chargers, Eagles 3 out of the next 4, plus they host the Rams in there as well. I mean, that's 4 games that they could lose.
I can already tell there's going to be dissension in one game in Beat the Chief this week.
Mm-hmm.
Because one of those games is real easy for me, and I don't think you're going to be on the same side that I am.
Nope. If you're going the Dallas Cowboys side, nope.
Have you seen the line?
No, I haven't. I haven't seen the line.
It was 3.5 this morning.
This says 4.
Even better.
I'll take it. The Dallas Cowboys are one team that I'm staring at going, look, now, I like them. And do I think they're going to lose the next 4? No, but they could. And then what do you think about them? They're 3-4. Even if they won the Rams game and lost the others.
Yeah, I don't think there's any path that they're losing all of those. There's a path that they don't lose any of them. But the other team I was thinking of was the Eagles. Because your schedule looks really easy, and I have a funny feeling you're going to find a way to lose one of those games.
Okay.
If you don't figure out Jalen Hurts.
Rams, Jets, Dolphins, Commanders.
Well, the Dolphins can score at will on practically anybody.
That's the only game that scares me there.
You got a defense in the Jets that I would not want to trifle with, especially with an inaccurate quarterback, and he has been horribly inaccurate. I don't love that game with the Rams because they just seem to play competitively with everybody, and the Commanders have been a house of horrors for Philadelphia for the last 2 years. Not saying that I think it's going to happen. You asked who could it be?
Yep.
That's a team I'm looking at going, that schedule looks really easy, and if you find a way to lose 1 or even 2 of those, yeah, we're going to be looking at Philadelphia in a much different light.
What's the deal with Deshaun Watson? Is he good to go? Is that after this bye week? Is he?
Yes,
he's back ready to go.
Well, he was cleared to play last week. So
yeah. I was just wondering if we had heard anything else about that. The reason I ask is because I was looking at the old Indianapolis Colts. Over the next 4 games, they got a Titans team that we don't really believe in. There's the Jaguars who are still trying to figure things out. Browns and the Saints.
I think that's probably the best way to answer this. The AFC South.
Maybe.
The AFC South is going to sort itself out in some shape, form, or fashion over the next 4 weeks.
Yeah. Indianapolis comes out of that stretch at 5-3. We're going to think of them a little bit differently, especially if they get Jonathan Taylor back and he comes back into the fold rather than them trading him away.
I don't see a path of that happening, but
never know.
Who knows? Weirder things have happened.
That is very true. College football. We did our power rankings yesterday for the week 4 or I guess after week 4 in the NFL. Now, let's talk about college football. We're up to, what is this, week 5?
This is week 6.
Week 6.
Yeah, you're 1 week ahead in college football.
Wow.
You're right at the halfway mark in college football. Isn't it crazy how fast that goes? You just can't wait for it to get here, and then it seems like time just goes into warp speed as soon as it gets here, and then next thing you know, it's over.
That it is. Week 6 of the college football season. Who ranks at the top?
I think you and I have the same number 1 team.
Do we? Is it Michigan?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, good. I thought you were going to pull out the Washington thing on me again.
Washington's my 2.
Okay. Again, still haven't seen them play. I've seen all the stats. I've seen the highlights, but I've never watched an actual game in real time.
Unless you're catching the late slate game on ESPN, finding Pac-12 games is not all that easy unless you have DC Streams, which we do, and you can too. Watch all the NFL games, all the college games, all the things you could possibly want for the low, low price of much lower than you think. Just message us, and we will tell you how to do so.
College football fans wanted to see Kalen DeBoer take his offensive show on the road to a Power 5 conference, and he did so. And he's doing a hell of a job.
And they're very, very good. But right now I feel like Michigan is the team that has – you had some things that went on early because you had like a revolving door at head coach because it was the offensive coordinator one week. Then it was the defensive coordinator, it was special teams coordinator. Well, Harbaugh's come back 5 weeks. They've scored 30 or more points every single week. Only team to hold them to 30, the Fighting Mike Houstons of East Carolina. And you have yet to allow more than 7 points in a game.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
you haven't played anybody.
I was getting there. But here's the thing. You don't play anybody for the next 4 weeks. Michigan is going to be 9-0, most likely averaging somewhere in the neighborhood of 35 to 40 points a game and giving up about 4. So they're the most impressive team in the country to me.
Mm-hmm. Because they're doing what they need to do. They show up. They take control.
They're
of the
doing
ball
the
game.
exact opposite of what your Georgia Bulldogs are doing.
Thank you. That's exactly where I was headed.
You're both playing cupcakes, but one of you's been really impressive, and you are just crushing the souls of anybody that steps on the field with you.
Yep. And that's what Georgia was doing in the last 2 years. I mean, there were times, right? There was the Missouri game.
You've always had a predilection for doing this.
Yeah.
It's just happening more often now. Because it used to be you would play, it was almost like a cat with a mouse. Oh, you play with it, and then you squish it. And then the next week, you would just squish whoever it was you're playing out of the gate.
Mm-hmm.
Now you're playing with everybody.
Yep.
And that gives me a serious pause for concern.
As it should. Should give you pause for concern with Georgia and all of the SEC.
But Michigan is defensively what you keep trying to sell me that Georgia is. Defensively, you're not even in their class. I've watched them both multiple times. I don't think it's even debatable.
Mm-hmm.
Then for my 2, I had Washington at 1 last week. They didn't really struggle with Arizona, but you didn't boat race them like I thought you would. And there were a couple reasons for that. It was a bit of a clunker. So you dropped down a spot for me. Who is your 2?
My 2's Texas. Because I mean, I look at that team and I feel like they are the second most dominant team, I guess.
Well, the defense is really, really good. And the defense flies all over the place, and they're really deep.
And that's what gets me is that I trust the offense, and I'm going to trust them in big games, but the defense is really what sells me on the Texas Longhorns. They have all the offensive talent in the world. You know, why some teams continue to play with other teams that are not in their class, as you were saying about Georgia, I will never understand that.
I don't like giving out gambling picks early, but if you go to your favorite book and just see what the spread on Texas-Oklahoma is this week, I'm going to assume you can figure out which side I'm on because that number is laughable.
Texas minus 6.5.
That's funny. You said 19.5 in a really weird way. And maybe I don't hear that well, so maybe I heard you wrong.
Right. I mean, Texas has got the best win in football other than Ohio State, right? And
they're pretty equitable.
I would say they're close, but I got Alabama on my side. You got Notre Dame on your side. And last week after they were able to handle Kansas, and this week.
Well, they didn't handle Kansas. All right, that game was really close until late in the third quarter.
Mm-hmm.
Here are all the things. This is why I couldn't push Texas above Washington. Kansas was playing their backup quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
They have a ridiculously thin defense. And that game was heads up going almost into the fourth quarter.
Mm-hmm.
Leipold goes for it on 4th down because he had to. I can't put this defense back on the field because they'll just go down and score immediately, and then they did 4 more times.
Mm-hmm.
So that wasn't the handling that people keep calling it.
Yeah,
the final score looks that way, but if you watched it for 3 quarters, those two teams looked really even. Texas was better.
And I was going to say, I mean, it's great that you were able to stay close for 3 quarters. But then what happened?
Well, I mean, in their house.
They took over in the 4th quarter, and they made it look like it was supposed to.
See, and to me, that was what I said about Texas, is that I want to see you come out and physically impose your will, not wear somebody out.
Mm-hmm.
That's what Georgia does. That's why Georgia's not overly impressive to me. You have so many players that if you just keep running at them over and over again, eventually they're going to wear out because they don't have 94 and 5-star guys like you do.
Yep.
That's exactly what Texas did. So I wasn't overly impressed by that, but I think they kind of looked ahead to Oklahoma. They undervalued Kansas much like I think a lot of America does. And then the final score looked bad, so I'll keep making money on Kansas. This would last week notwithstanding. But Texas is my 3.
Okay.
I could not put them over Washington.
Okay. I get it. My 3 is Ohio State.
I don't know how you got there.
Why?
Have you watched them? I have not been
impressed.
impressed.
Them win. I've been watching them win.
Well, I mean, here's the thing. If you're impressed by, they won, then we should start talking about Louisville. Because they're 5-0 too. And to me, they've been equally impressive to Ohio State. You got lucky as hell against Notre Dame. Because you had to have a incredible catch on a terrible Kyle McCord pass to even be in the position. Because you had laid down like an old dog next to the radiator. I don't have Ohio State in the top 5, and I don't even think they're close.
Wow.
I'm not impressed. I don't think Kyle McCord's a good quarterback. He might turn into one, but your schedule's getting ready to crank up. And, oh, yeah, you beat Notre Dame. Oh, okay. Duke almost did the exact same thing. So, I like Duke. Am I putting them in the top 10? No. And you got a date with Penn State coming up where I'm going to learn a whole lot about you, and I'm not so sure it's going to go your way.
It may not. But for right now, I can't take them off the top.
Oh, I can easily. I can't easily. I didn't believe them in the first place, and they've done nothing to change my mind.
Okay.
Because my 4 is Florida State. You've already been – and LSU and Clemson, neither one of them are as good as we thought they would be. Clemson's actually probably better than I thought they were, but I had you at 4 to start the year. You have done absolutely nothing to change my mind.
Right.
Oh, well, they struggled. Oh, okay. Ohio State did too. They struggled with Indiana for 3 quarters, and I'm not sure Indiana even has an athletics program. I'm not sure they didn't just get 90 people wearing IU swag and went, hey, you want a helmet?
So the Boston College game has not swayed
It's a red bandana game. I'm telling you, I have bet that every single year but this year, and I am still kicking myself for not looking that up before I bet it.
Yeah.
That's just, it's a buzzsaw game. No, I don't care.
Okay.
I absolutely don't care. I've seen this team up close and personal. The defense is, you better have 5 really good offensive linemen, or they're going to be on top of you all afternoon long.
Yep.
And the other good thing is that they don't play anybody for quite some time. Florida State gets to now sample that Georgia scheduling of, hey, we're going to play Virginia Tech. Sweet. Do they have a playbook, or do they just show up and wing it?
Just show up and wing it. Florida State's my 4 as well. Your 4
was Florida
State. And my 5 is Georgia.
My 5 is also begrudgingly Georgia. I don't want to have them that high.
You can't take them off. Like, you can't.
Oh, I can.
Well, of course you can. Yes, you can physically do anything you want to. The problem that I have is that this is still one of the most talented teams in the country, and
But you don't play that way.
They'll figure it out.
Well, see, I can't rank you based on you'll figure it out. I'm ranking you at 5 for 2 very simple reasons. I don't know that you don't have the second best offensive player in the country who you just manufacture touches for, that unlike I've ever seen with a tight end.
That's weird. You said the best wrong.
Yeah, Caleb Williams would like a word.
Stop that.
Tank apparently smoked crack before he came in the studio today. I'm not judging you on, you're going to figure it out. I'm judging you on you don't play anybody. If you lose a game, I'll tell you this definitively. If Georgia loses a game, do not mention them to me again because they're completely irrelevant.
Yep.
I don't care who you lose to. I don't care if it's Ole Miss. I don't care if it's in the SEC title game. You better go 13-0 or your season is effectively over because you will not recover from it. Because you're going to have a slew of undefeated or one-loss teams.
as we do every year.
Not like this.
It may not. It may not. It may be worse this year.
Oh, it's going to be worse this year. Last year in the final poll, there were 2.
Mm-hmm.
As a matter of fact, in the country, there were 4 that had 0 or 1 losses. And some of them were completely irrelevant.
Mm-hmm.
You had Georgia with none, Michigan with 1. This year, final poll, you could very easily have 6 or 7 teams that have 1 or less losses.
Oh, 1 or less. I was like, how do you get there with the undefeateds? Because, I mean, you could have 4.
Oh, I'm talking about at the end of I'm talking about after the bowl games. You may have 7 teams that only have 1 loss because there are going to be 1-loss teams that are not in the playoff.
Mm-hmm.
That was not the case last year. And unless you were really upset that Troy didn't get there. So, this is just a different year in college football.
It is. It's a very different year.
And you really need to be undefeated.
Right. You're in the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM and 1400. Who else makes the cut in the college football power ranking this week? We'll get to the second part of the list next. The Asheville Championship returns to Harrah's Cherokee Center in Asheville November 10th and 12th. This year's field is the best yet. The Clemson Tigers, Maryland Terrapins, Davidson Wildcats, and the Blazers of UAB. 4 exciting matchups with a champion to be crowned at one of the premier early season tournaments in college basketball. For more information and to get your tickets, go to AshevilleChampionship.com. That's AshevilleChampionship.com. It all starts in Asheville November 10th and 12th. Proudly sponsored by Ingalls Markets.
I believe real estate isn't about properties. It's about people. I'm Clarissa Hyatt Zach with eXp Realty, serving all of Western North Carolina. Navigating the home buying and selling journey can feel overwhelming at times, and that's why having an agent who cares about you and your needs is key. I'm a native of Western North Carolina, and I close over a home a week. I'm an expert in the market, pricing my sellers correctly to net you the most money, and working as a skilled negotiator for my buyers. Please give me a call today at 828-774-6343 to set up a complimentary market analysis.
The season we've all been waiting for is here. No, not that one. The season of the Big Orange Tent is underway in Western North Carolina. The area's largest selection of Halloween costumes, decorations, and accessories is at the Big Orange Tent at the Asheville Mall. Halloween Express is your one-stop shop for adult and child costumes, superheroes, horror icons, inflatable suits. You can find it all under the Big Orange Tent at the Asheville Mall. 10 to 8 Monday through Saturday, 12 to 6 on Sundays.
As the leaves change, leave the hiring to Indeed. Their all-in-one hiring platform helps you attract, interview, and hire candidates all from one place. And Indeed's interview tool lets you schedule and conduct virtual interviews right from their website. Visit Indeed.com/credit.
This week in the Buncombe County Game of the Week, it's Irwin at AC Reynolds. The Rockets coming off a big emotional win against Asheville High. Irwin had the week off to get healed up and get set for the Rockets. Bojangles Countdown to Kickoff show is at 6:30 with a kickoff at 7. On AM 1400, Tuscola is back on the road at East Henderson. Cowboy John Roden and the gang will be along with a pregame starting at 7. The best high school football coverage is on News Radio 570, WWNC, and ESPN Asheville.
It's Ryan Seacrest here. Check this out. With Boost Infinite, you get the latest iPhone every year and unlimited wireless for just $60 a month. You get the new titanium iPhone 15 Pro that was just announced. Then next year, you get the latest iPhone, and this keeps happening every year. It's Boost Infinite. Infinitely better. To switch today or learn more, pick up your phone, dial pound 250, and say Boost Infinite.
Terms apply. After 30 gigabytes, service may be slow. Receive a comparable iPhone model each year with an acceptable trade-in every year. Requires credit qualification and 36-month phone financing agreement. You'll have the option to receive a one-time auto-dial text message from iHeartMedia.
Some have said that rallying middle schoolers is a lot like herding cats. To the moms and dads out there who control the chaos and make herding cats look more like corralling kittens, we at Ingalls tip our hats. Ingalls, all the ingredients for family.
What's up, people? This is Cam Jordan, all-pro defensive end with the New Orleans Saints. Join me on my new podcast, Off the Edge with Cam Jordan.
There's pressure and he'll go down. And that is going to be Cam Jordan. They can't stop it.
In episodes each week, I'll bring you a different perspective of the game through the lens of my 12-plus years in the NFL. Some of the game's biggest stars will also join me to help you become a smarter football fan. Listen on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
The Sportsocracy.
You are just dumber than a bag of hammers.
Back in the Ingalls studio on ESPN Asheville. Follow the Sportsocracy on all the social medias at the Sportsocracy. For real, we did over 1 million views last month.
Between TikTok and all the things.
Good
we did a lot of them on
night.
TikTok.
That's a lot.
Of which TikTok, that's.
Yeah, I don't know.
Hey, you only have to watch like 3 seconds.
Yeah, I don't know.
But still, the fact remains.
The fact remains. That's a lot of eyeballs.
We did almost 200,000 on YouTube by itself.
Like it.
And
I
that
like it.
is harder to do.
That's right. If you've not subscribed to the YouTube channel, please do so. Missing all the content there. Go to thesportsocracy.com. Click that live video link. Subscribe to the channel. That also gets you into the chat each and every day. College football playoff power rankings. It's almost time for the first CFP poll, isn't it? Is that week 8?
I believe
like
so.
2 weeks away from that?
I believe so.
Wow.
I am intrigued to see what that looks like.
Yeah.
Because I have a funny feeling it's going to be a total cop-out, and it's going to make me really angry.
A cop-out in what?
And that you're going to have
be number one?
Oh, well, Georgia will be number one.
I was gonna
and
say.
that you're going to have 3 Big Ten teams in the top 5, which will be dumb to dumb.
Yeah, so let it sort itself out.
There you go.
Yeah. We'll put them all in
there. That's the thing
there.
that gets sorted out. So you just go, you know what? We'll put Florida State at 8.
Yep.
You
and I both had Georgia as our 5s. How about 6? Do we agree on 6?
6 is one of the hardest ones in the country for me. I put Oregon there, and I don't like it.
Really?
I don't like it.
Ahead of the Nittany Lions?
Yes.
Okay.
Penn State looked awful for a half against Northwestern. Now they figured it out.
Mm-hmm.
And now I'm doing that cop-out thing in reverse of I'll give you the credit when you beat somebody that I really care about.
All right. So when you get up there to beat Ohio State, or at least hang with them in 2 weeks.
I'm not really you hung with them.
3 weeks.
You beat them and we'll talk. You lose to them and you're exactly where you've been for many years now.
Yeah.
You're going to finish 9.
Yeah.
And you'll be on that screen like, hey, look, we're irrelevant, but you're not. But you're really not.
Is there still just the 3rd best team in your conference?
Although now they have a quarterback. The defense is good. I've never questioned the defense.
Yes. I think that's the most complete team that James Franklin has had. And they are my 6.
They're my 7, just for posterity's sake.
Okay. My 7 is East Coast bias completely. Washington is my 7.
That is 100% East Coast bias.
I mean, I guess everybody has it.
You do keep saying, I haven't even watched them.
I haven't.
I
haven't. The games come on way too late.
Well, yeah, but you don't work on Sundays, so.
Yeah, I'm watching the NFL. I'm watching real football on Sundays.
Oh, good Lord.
I'm not watching college football after
I actually
it's
gave
already
you
happened.
the cop-out to do a promo right there for the fact we do a fantasy show on Sunday, and you just.
Oh, I missed it. No, I was too busy defending myself because who the hell cares about Washington Huskies football?
You should.
You
they're real good.
beat somebody.
I think
beat USC, and then we'll talk.
Getting ready to get the chance to.
Beat Oregon, then we'll talk. I'll watch those games because they're meaningful games. I'm not watching Washington beat the crap out of Eastern Washington just because.
They didn't play Eastern Washington.
You know what I mean,
Boise
though.
State, Tulsa, Michigan State, Cal, and Arizona.
Again, nothing on that list told me that they've played anybody. Your offense is great. Sweet. I saw Kalen DeBoer do that at, where was
Fresno
it, San Diego State? Fresno State, whichever one of those California schools he was at. I saw him do that at that level. It's great that it works out now. I've seen Michael Penix play on big stages before. Now, did he have a team like this around him? Hell no. I remember watching him do things in the Ohio State game a couple of years ago for Indiana. Remember when he scored the non-touchdown?
Special player.
Yeah. So, I mean, I'm not trying to denigrate him. I'm just saying I'm being honest. I'm being as honest as I can. I have not watched them live. So they could be better than this. But everybody agrees with me, apparently. Or the majority of voters agree with me because that's where they sit in the actual poll, is 7.
Yeah, they're wrong.
No, okay.
It's fine. It's East Coast bias.
As long as everybody else is fine.
Yeah, 85% of the voters are on the East Coast. Weird. You're Oldman, and you can't stay up to watch one of the best teams in the country.
Nope. Not
but
gonna.
You get them at 3:30 next week when they're going to boat race Oregon.
And you do
who,
that.
as I said, was my 6.
I was going to say, you do that, and
Bo Nix on the road. Hadn't failed me yet. Don't think it's going to fail me now.
Mm-hmm. I don't think that same narrative serves since he got to Oregon, though, does it?
Well, when you don't play anybody on the road, it helps. This is probably the best team he's ever played on the road.
Okay.
At Oregon. So, trust me, I remember who you are.
Mm-hmm.
I remember you from. I remember your Auburn days, there, buddy.
Oregon. They would not be my next, though. I would go USC over Oregon.
Oregon's been more impressive, but I went Oregon, Penn State, Ohio State, then USC. So USC is my 9.
Yep.
You can't be that bad defensively, and they are god awful.
Mm-hmm. Is there anybody else that's relevant to the conversation?
Well, a lot of people would put Notre Dame in, and I mean they're worth talking about.
Yeah, but you lost one, and you're already behind the 8 ball.
Oh yeah, they're not a playoff contender. They're gonna be a headache for teams that play them. I look at Alabama. You don't score, so I mean, yeah, you score 34 on Mississippi State. I don't care. I just don't care. It's not a good team.
No.
So when Alabama beats somebody of any substance, then maybe I will care again. But I'm just not to that point.
Oklahoma's not on that level.
Oklahoma's going to get boat raced by Texas. Texas will hurt their feelings for the second year in a row.
Washington State.
Washington State needs to be talked about.
North Carolina.
North Carolina needs to be talked about. You're kind of in the same boat as USC, though.
And
you're
Miami.
so god-awful on defense.
Mm-hmm. And Miami's the other one that I throw into there.
Miami needs to be talked about, and I feel like Oregon State needs to be talked about. Oregon State's another one of those that's a West Coast team, and none of you watch it. And maybe it's because I'm an insomniac, and I'm just an absolute
nerd.
I'm very slotty when it comes to college football, and I just that's what I consume on Saturday. I've watched a lot of these Pac-12 teams, and Oregon State's really good. Washington State's really good.
Mm-hmm.
That's my biggest fear with the CFP is that you're going to get those two lesser schools there that are going to upset the apple cart, and you wind up with none of these Pac-12 teams in. No matter what happens, even if you've got a one-loss champion in that conference, they should be in the playoff.
Mm-hmm.
But they could cannibalize each other.
Absolutely.
You could wind up with a 2-loss team that wins it in the Pac-12 title game, and then you're not getting in,
mm-hmm.
whether you should or not, because of exactly what he said. Oh, I haven't seen it. You should.
Yeah. The committee will see it, though. Right?
Yeah, they have a history of – if it's not one of the glamour programs, like even the year Washington got in the playoff, you got in because you were the last one surviving.
Yeah, you were the last undefeated.
Everybody else had a loss or 2 losses, and you couldn't take them out.
Mm-hmm.
And that's my fear.
I was going to say, I mean, you almost – we're at the point where you almost have to be undefeated, or you have to just have a resume that just screams at you.
You're going to have –
and if you end up with 4 undefeated teams – sorry, I don't care how impressive your one loss is. I don't think you're getting in.
I don't think you will. It doesn't mean you shouldn't.
Mm-hmm.
Which is why I have come around on the 12-team playoff thing. This year has completely changed how I feel about this because I know there's going to be a deserving team that gets left out.
Yep.
Probably at the expense of your Georgia Bulldogs that can't beat anybody. But they won 2 in a row. Awesome. Yeah, half those dudes are playing in the NFL now. If you can bring them back to play in the playoff, then I'll listen to that argument.
Right.
Since they're not doing that, I don't really care.
You're in the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Coolest weather since likely last spring. Well, minus maybe a couple of days where it's rained here this fall, but it's on the way. We're going to see some nighttime lows potentially in the 30s. Today, sunny 80. Tonight, clear 53. Tomorrow, a little fog early, then sunshine in the upper 70s. Chance of showers Friday, 76, and then upper 50s to low 60s for high temperatures over the weekend. From the Weather Channel, I'm Ray Stajic.
This report is sponsored by Indeed.com. As the leaves change, leave the hiring to Indeed. Their all-in-one hiring platform helps you attract, interview, and hire candidates all from one place. And Indeed's interview tool lets you schedule and conduct virtual interviews right from their website. Visit Indeed.com/credit.
Gillette Intimate gives guys a gentle and easy shave on there. And around there. And even under there. Don't treat your groin like junk. Respect it with Gillette Intimate, the best a man can get. Buy now at a retailer near you.
Exergen thermometers are proven to be more accurate than non-contact thermometers. With children back at school, keeping them healthy is important. Clinical studies have proven that non-contact thermometers are inaccurate and can miss fevers. Accuracy matters. That's why the Exergen thermometer is trusted and used by medical professionals. Exergen thermometers are available at Walgreens and other participating retailers. Choose a trusted and accurate thermometer for personal use. Learn more about why accuracy matters at Exergen.com.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
At Ingles, we're proud to sponsor area athletics at all levels. Whether we're building new fields for T-ball, celebrating Friday night rivals, televising college basketball games, bringing the Fan Fest to semi-pro soccer, or taking you out to the ball game at your minor league park. We're here for the fans. No one gets the dedication to the home team like you guys. And we've got all the sports you can handle. It's all in the bag. Ingles. Low prices. Love the savings.
Running a small business is no small task. At Home Trust Bank, we work hard to prepare businesses for whatever tomorrow may bring. Your dreams are our business, and we have local experts who can help you plan for a successful future. Dependable guidance you need, and service you'll appreciate. At Home Trust Bank, we take your small business banking personally. Visit your local Home Trust branch or anytime at htb.com. Member FDIC.
The best season of the year is here.
Tailgate season.
Monster Brewing presents this season's MVP.
The Beast Unleashed.
With 4 bold, familiar flavors.
With 0 caffeine and 0 sugar.
Beast Unleashed is your new pregame ritual.
With white haze, mean green, peach perfect, and scary berries, there's a flavor for every fan.
The Beast
Unleashed.
6% alcohol by volume. Unleashed responsibly. Must be 21 or over. Beast Unleashed. Available at your local retailer.
On the weird scale, there's Vegas, there's Florida, and there's Asheville. Let's get weird, Asheville.
Welcome back into the Sportsocracy. Jeremy, you know that I love to drive. That's my me time, right? I go home, I got the wife to deal with, and the kids to deal with. I come to work, and I've got the kids to deal with here. You know, when I'm alone in my car, that's my peace and quiet time. I love driving. I will go anywhere. Jeremy hates to drive.
Yes. If I ever become rich and famous, first thing I'm going to do, go to Raleigh, give my license back, and have Michael Whiteside drive me everywhere I go. We have a deal. I think we wrote it on a cocktail napkin after a bunch of Jaeger bombs one night, and I saved it because I'm going to hold him to it.
I don't feel like he's going to be very good at that job because he's going to be there doing the Jaeger bombs with you, and I don't know that that's a good arrangement.
That's why we need a second driver, okay?
Yeah. Hey, you're forgetting me.
Tank, you could hang out with he and I and be hammered just off being in the same room.
Yeah. You might be right. Anyway.
Especially now that you're not eating carbs.
That's very true.
You have the alcohol tolerance of a freshman girl at this point. So,
it's seltzers. I can hold a lot of seltzers these days.
That fruit static. He really likes that.
Yeah, not bad. I'm not down with the whole self-driving car thing. This just seems like a bridge too far for me. And it's stories like this that send me down this path. A man in Scotland, Glasgow. We know a fellow that lives in Glasgow. He got kidnapped by his car. So it's like 10 o'clock at night on Sunday, and 53-year-old Brian Morrison gets into his brand new electric self-driving vehicle to go home. Now, he ended up having to call emergency officials. He had to dial 999 because that's what they dial over there for emergencies. He had to dial for emergency help when the brakes would not work, and he could not stop the vehicle. He tried everything in his power. The brakes were not working, and it just kept driving. So he called 999 and told the police, I am in a runaway car. It's holding me captive, and there's nothing I can do. In a I don't know if you want to call it a chase, but it was stuck at 30 miles an hour, and they had to come in and locate him on the roadways and use 2 police vans to grind his car to a halt to get it to stop. Once it was stopped, he thought, okay, I'm good, and he kept trying to drive over the 2 cars that were in front of him. Now, obviously, things like this are completely rare and random. Mm-hmm. They called it a catastrophic malfunction with the self-driving car. But this is my luck, right? Mark Starling told a story this morning on 570 WWNC about a pedestrian who got hit by another vehicle. That person bounced off of that vehicle in front of a self-driving car, and the self-driving car did what? Ran them over because it didn't have time to react to hit the brakes because it only reads objects so far from where it is. I just feel like this is one of those things. I'm not handing over the roadways to robots.
Okay. Well, I listened to your whole story, and now I'm going to tell you a story.
Uh-huh.
Because I have always said that that Tank likes to drive. The only problem is that he can't drive a greasy peg up a cat's keister because he likes to scissor merge or whatever that thing is. And so I'm going to tell you a story of something that happened to me on the roadways this morning. And this is with the people that you're already trusting to drive a car.
Mm-hmm.
I am coming from North Asheville to the studio.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Early in the morning, traffic, got a lot of cars. And apparently, Bob Jim Cooter was in the car next to me, and he decided that he was going the wrong place. So he was in the fast lane right there at UNCA, and he decided to just go, yippee-ki-yay, right across 3 lanes of traffic. Yeah. Didn't it? Literally, I don't know how he didn't hit the exit sign. That was a small miracle. But I watched that, and I went, I don't think robots could be worse drivers than some of the people that I see on a daily basis. And that's not rare. That's every day. I see it on the Jeff Bowen Bridge every day. Mm-hmm. People that just go 55, 55, 55, 6! I don't think the robot could be worse than that. As long as we keep giving licenses to Bob Jim Cooter, I'm in favor of robot cars. You used an Al Gore word in your story. Catastrophic.
Oh.
My story also has to do with a catastrophic event that I'm going to try my best to not laugh my way all the way through.
It's catastrophic.
Oh, a military helicopter is believed to have sparked a massive crocodile fest in Australia. And I left out the word that of the type of fest. It's not a Woodstock, but it's close. Apparently, crocodiles are really revved up by loud noises to the point that thunderstorms can get their motor running.
Oh.
Well, apparently a Chinook helicopter flew really near the Corona Crocodile Farm in Kuruman, Australia. So they got real low. They were hanging out of the helicopter taking pictures
of all the gators.
Of all the gators.
Yeah.
Well, apparently the Chinook blades was enough to, it's like that Margot Robbie scene in Wolf of Wall Street. It just got things started.
Yeah.
And the next thing they knew, it was a big old gator love fest.
Nice.
Last time you saw that many gators, Steve Spurrier was the coach.
Oh.
So, well, 5-11, not too good. I didn't know that. I had absolutely no idea that that's apparently an aphrodisiac for crocodiles.
Just the loud noises.
Loud noises of any kind, especially if they're repetitive.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
Can you imagine being in that helicopter like, oh, look, they're not hugging. Oh, get the nose up. Get the nose up. This is not good, and we should not be watching this.
No, we're fine. We're fine.
Enough,
they're preoccupied.
Oddly enough, that is now the most searched video in Gainesville, Florida.
Oh.
Mullets and jorts.
There's an Urban Meyer joke somewhere.
100%. 100%. Oh, shoot. I know what it is now, too. That would have been funny.
Oh. Missed the opportunity.
Last time you saw a Gator that revved up, he was coaching the Jacksonville Jaguars.
There you go. See, I knew you'd get there.
There it is. He's a big dumb
sometime.
bear, folks, but he'll get there if you lead him to.
Yeah, it's the Sportsocracy, ESPN Asheville. Still got the most important message of the day on the way. Daily draft coming up at the top of the hour as well.
Somebody just randomly turned on the radio for the last 5 minutes and went,
what is happening?
What is going on right now?
These guys on here talking about copulating gators. I don't get it.
I'm not sure what that was, Bill, but I didn't like it.
Anyhow, you want to play a fun game, Jeremy?
Always.
Let's play a little.
As long as it doesn't have to do with copulating gators, I'm all the way in.
Or Urban Meyer's fingers.
Frankly, I don't want any gators to procreate because that's how you wind up with more gators, and this Seminole don't like that.
That's true. Let's play a fun game of either, neither, or both.
You want to go first? You want me to go first?
I'll go first.
All right.
Because mine is about college football this weekend, and it's going to be another worried scale question.
Okay.
Okay.
There are a couple teams I'm worried about.
Worried. Either, neither, both. Number 1 Georgia against number 20 Kentucky at home, Sanford Stadium. Texas and Oklahoma in the Red River rivalry shootout game in Dallas in the Cotton Bowl.
You got to say that like Pat Summerall. The Cotton Bowl.
Or let's throw in the other top 25 matchup. Number 10 Notre Dame against number 25 Louisville.
Okay. The Notre Dame-Louisville game is in Louisville. And look, Brian Brom's done a really good job at Louisville. You've also beaten absolutely nobody. So my fear ranking for Notre Dame is going to be really low. So I'm almost going to cut that one out like you didn't say it so I can go either, neither, or both. For me, it's either. And it's Georgia by a whole lot. Texas is going to obliterate Oklahoma.
Mm-hmm.
That team is not good. Yeah, you can beat up on Cincinnati. Cincinnati's terrible. Terrible. Do you know the best win Oklahoma has right now?
No.
The best one on their schedule, I think, is SMU. If not, it's Cincinnati. Other than that, you've beaten 2-3 Iowa State, 2-3 Cincinnati, Tulsa, SMU, and Arkansas State. And you haven't looked particularly impressive in 2 of those, which, not ironically enough, are the 2 best teams that you've played. Now, your Georgia Bulldogs, yeah, you should be real worried. Not because I think they're going to run the ball down your throat the way they did the way they did to Florida.
Mm-hmm.
Dennis Leary's still a good quarterback. He hasn't shown that by any stretch of the imagination.
Dennis Leary?
Did I say Dennis Leary?
You did.
Oh, sorry. He's one of my favorite comedians of all time. Devin Leary, who's actually the quarterback at Kentucky and not a guy that smokes heaters and sings funny songs. He has not been good. But I have a funny feeling that if you had anything in the back of the playbook, and I've heard this out of virtually everybody at Kentucky that's been anywhere near a microphone, we haven't had to show anything yet. There's other things in this playbook. I think they come out fast. That's the best defense you've played, and it's not even kind of close.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they're going to beat you because that's a really tall ask to go into Sanford Stadium and beat you. But I could easily see this be another Monday morning where we look at it and go, why can Georgia not beat anybody by more than like 10 points?
Yeah. You know, the important thing here is you don't necessarily have to.
100%. It's not whether you win or lose; it's whether you cover the spread. I've said that for many years.
You keep winning games, and you've still got the momentum, so to speak.
I think I need to put that on a shirt.
What?
It's not whether you win or lose; it's whether you cover the spread.
Mm-hmm. Kentucky coming off the Florida win is a little concerning. However, I don't feel like Florida's good.
They're not
at all. Worried scale, I'll agree with you. It isn't either, and it is Georgia, and it's for all the reasons you said, because this team, Brock Bowers, is real well.
And see, I think they'll be able to take that away.
Kentucky?
Yes.
Okay.
They are good enough defensively to do that Bill Belichick thing and take away the number one thing you want. I don't know that you have anything else.
No, you don't.
I'm not worried about the running game at all.
Not with Carson Beck, you don't. You don't have much to worry about.
Oh, you're not trying to sell me on Ladd McConkey again?
Ladd McConkey he's good, but only when you have a quarterback that can throw him the ball.
Yeah, that's where I was with that.
Right.
You can have all these shifty little receivers that you want. You better have a quarterback that can hit them in stride, or they're really largely irrelevant.
I asked the question in the offseason when I saw the news that A.D. Mitchell wasn't coming back. And I went, well, that's weird because you just won 2 national titles with this team. Why would you not come back? Because he looked at Carson Beck and went, there's no shot I'm spending my last year in college catching passes from that. I'll go play with Quinn Ewers in Texas.
Yeah, I run real fast, and his arm is not real strong. Right. So let me go hang out with this mulleted gent who can get me the ball.
It all makes perfect sense to me now. Carson Beck, I'm not buying it at all.
All right, mine is like yours. I have 3 options.
Okay.
Of the rookie quarterbacks that went in the top 5, who have you changed your opinion on after 4 games? Bryce Young, C.J. Stroud, Anthony Richardson.
I will go either, and I will say C.J. Stroud.
So you're fully just all in of the camp of C.J. Stroud is really good.
C.J. Stroud, I believe, he's better than I thought he was going to be.
I will give you that.
And he is way better at this point than the other 2. And I didn't think that was going to be the case. I was a big believer in Bryce Young, although I did famously tell you that I did not think there was much of a difference between the 2. And then as I watched the tape and I listened to you, I let myself be corrupted by your sweet words, Flostradamus.
I need you to never say anything like that to me.
You poured honey into my ear, and I was tempted away from looking at C.J. Stroud and thinking that he was going to be a thing. He was going into a worse situation, I thought, and that was, of course, not counting how good this team has been around him. I don't know how he's doing it with no offensive line. I don't know how they're doing it without using the run game. You know, Dameon Pierce is not the feature of this. And I, of course, did not give Tank Dell his flowers for being as good as he is. I didn't think they were going to be this good. I didn't think he was going to be this good, but I'm not changing my mind about Bryce. And I'm not changing my mind about Anthony. I think Richardson is fine. And he's going to give you splash plays, and he'll be an exciting, electric guy.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think he's going to be great.
He's a 57% completion guy that can run.
And I still feel like Bryce is...
You've changed nothing of my mind on that. Now,
I feel like Bryce has got it. He just doesn't have anything around it.
The one thing that I will say I've changed with him is that being a number 1 receiver for him is not the complete albatross that I thought it would be. So I have changed there. I will admit C.J. Stroud is better than I thought he was. I am still not willing to say that you should have taken Bryce Young, or that you should have taken him ahead of Bryce Young.
Right.
Because to me, it's just not an apples-to-apples comparison. C.J. Stroud has come in and fit into a perfect system. Carolina's a mess. C.J. Stroud's better than I thought, but I am slowly changing my opinion on Bryce Young. I'm not sure that he's going to be what I thought he was.
You're in the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville. The Daily Draft is coming up after Jeremy's 5 on it, the parlay of the night in college football. coming next. The Asheville Championship returns to Harrah's Cherokee Center in Asheville November 10th and 12th. This year's field is the best yet. The Clemson Tigers, Maryland Terrapins, Davidson Wildcats, and the Blazers of UAB. 4 exciting matchups with a champion to be crowned at one of the premier early season tournaments in college basketball. For more information and to get your tickets, go to AshevilleChampionship.com. That's AshevilleChampionship.com. It all starts in Asheville November 10th and 12th. Proudly sponsored by Ingalls Markets.
I believe real estate isn't about properties. It's about people. I'm Clarissa Hyatt Zach with eXp Realty, serving all of Western North Carolina. Navigating the home buying and selling journey can feel overwhelming at times, and that's why having an agent who cares about you and your needs is key. I'm a native of Western North Carolina, and I close over a home a week. I'm an expert in the market, pricing my sellers correctly to net you the most money, and working as a skilled negotiator for my buyers. Please give me a call today at 828-774-6343 to set up a complimentary market analysis.
If cleanliness is next to godliness, look around the car right now. Is that very godly? Look, life comes at you fast, but so does WBNC Auto Detailing. They have the tools to make your interior look like it's coming off the showroom floor. You don't believe me? Check them out on Instagram. All that filth and years of stains disappear. WBNC Auto Detailing does full interior and exterior details with paint correction, and they do wax and ceramic coatings. Call WBNC Auto Detailing at 455-3700. Premium care with a Southern hospitality touch.
Get ready to experience the excitement.
It is the 13th year of the iHeartRadio Music Festival.
The emotions.
I love you guys. I'm so happy to be here tonight.
The surprises.
Are you ready for another I can't believe it moment?
The superstars.
Such an amazing honor to share a stage with so many unbelievable artists.
And of course, the music. Relive the greatest moments from the iHeartRadio Music Festival.
You will not want to miss.
Starting Tuesday, streaming only on Hulu.
Trust Zero Res to get your ducks insanely clean. Mention ESPN Asheville to get $30 off your next cleaning. Use promo code AIR30 when scheduling online at ZeroResAsheville.com.
Some days, my active psoriatic arthritis makes it hard to get in the game. Now, the ball is in my court, thanks to treating my skin and joints with Skyrizi, Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults.
Nothing is everything.
Skyrizi helps with less joint pain, stiffness, swelling, and fatigue. For those who also have plaque psoriasis, 90% clearer skin is possible with just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or a lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check for infection and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms such as fever, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough, or if you plan to or recently received a vaccine.
With Skyrizi, there's nothing like clearer skin and better movement, and that means everything. Ask your doctor today about Skyrizi and visit Skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKYRIZI to learn more.
Gillette Intimate gives guys a gentle and easy shave on there. And around there, and even under there. Don't treat your groin like junk. Respect it with Gillette Intimate, the best a man can get. Buy now at a retailer near you.
Conference USA football. All right, that doesn't resonate like Maction. I need a name and not alliteration, so we're not leaving it up to Tank. I already gave you my picks in the first hour, but what happens if you same game parlay them together? Jacksonville State in the money line, under 52. That's plus 355, which means you'd make a $355 win out of a $100 wager. FIU plus the 6.5 over the 49. That's plus 254. 254 off a $100 wager. But if you put them all together, it's plus 1510. You put 5 on it, like I am, turns into $80.53. Take those wagers to betus.com. Use our promo code Sportsocracy. Get a 125% deposit match and up to 30 risk-free bets so you can wager football with us all season long.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Coolest weather since likely last spring. Well, minus maybe a couple of days where it's rained here this fall, but it's on the way. We're going to see some nighttime lows potentially in the 30s. Today, sunny 80. Tonight, clear 53. Tomorrow, a little fog early, then sunshine in the upper 70s. Chance of showers Friday, 76, and then upper 50s to low 60s for high temperatures over the weekend. For the Weather Channel, I'm Ray Stajic.
Hey, if you're thinking about getting the latest iPhone, check this out. With Boost Infinite, you get the latest iPhone every year and unlimited wireless for just $60 a month. Yeah, you get the new titanium iPhone 15 Pro that was just announced. Then again, next year, you get the latest iPhone every year. Boost Infinite, infinitely better. To learn more, pick up your phone, dial pound 250 and say Boost Infinite. That's pound 250 and say Boost Infinite. Terms apply. After 30 gigabytes, service may be slow. Receive a comparable iPhone model each year with an acceptable trade-in every year. Requires credit qualification and 36-month phone financing agreement. You'll have the option to receive a one-time auto-dial text message from iHeartMedia.
The Sportsocracy.
Ice up, son. Ice up.
The last thing you need on the way to the game is a flat tire. Ensure that you'll make the game on time with new tires from Black Mountain Tire Connection. With 22 years of experience serving the East Asheville area, Black Mountain Tire Connection offers all major tire brands. Black Mountain Tire Connection keeps you running with tire and auto service, including alignments, brakes, state inspections, oil changes, and minor repairs. Schedule service now at blackmountaintire.com.
One of Western North Carolina's favorite half marathons is back. The Geyser Growl Half Marathon, presented by Hillman Beer, October the 21st, starting at 8 a.m. This fun and scenic race during the peak of leaf season takes you from Lake Tomahawk and Black Mountain down to Old Fort and passing the iconic Andrews Geyser. The race finishes at Hillman Beer with hot soup and cold beer. If you're looking for a fun half marathon, you don't want to miss this. For more information and to get signed up, go to gloryhoundevents.com. Proudly sponsored by iHeartMedia, Asheville.
From the Ingalls Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart Radio Station.
Now, your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website, Bills. That's Bills. Enter it now.
Log on now to ESPNAVL.com. The Sportsocracy.
It fires me up, man. I love it. Say it one more time.
The Sportsocracy.
Shake it back!
Beer City's best sports talk.
It is gross.
Just earlier.
They are mature, actually. You just have to get to know them better.
Your lunchtime dose of dumbassery. Live from the Ingalls studio.
It's ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. You're in the Sportsocracy. Thanks, Spencer. Jeremy Green with you in the Ingalls studio. We're heard everywhere on the iHeartRadio app, locally, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. You see us live in the Ingalls studio on YouTube. Go to thesportsocracy.com. Click that live video link. Subscribe to the channel so you can join us in the chat. We had news today that the Denver Broncos have just outright let Randy Gregory walk. Also, other breaking news of the day, J.C. Jackson is going back to the New England Patriots. Both of these signings were absolutely horrific and sent Jeremy down the spiral of, hey, what are the worst ones ever? So that's today's daily draft. Not ever. We're going last 10 years.
Last 10 years.
Last 10 years in the NFL, what are the worst NFL free agency signings?
I will take the first pick because my team is we are the captain of the ship of signing god-awful players to way too much money. And it's only fitting that my first pick is Le'Veon Bell.
Yes.
4 years, $52.5 million in 2019, and he had as many 100-yard rushing games as I did. I was so happy when we signed him because I thought he was going to be exactly what Sam Darnold needed as the little outlet that he could get the ball out of the backfield and weird. You sit out a whole year and you come back and you're fat and you're not nearly as dynamic as you were before.
Mm-hmm.
Then you get the fact that the coach didn't want to sign you in the first place and you start airing those grievances out in public. Yeah, I don't think any bad free agent signing can even parallel Le'Veon Bell.
Okay. 4 years, $52 million. You know, that was the first time. That was the first time I ever got caught by the New York Jets doing something big. It's the first time I ever believed that this franchise might have something in the offing.
And no. They just did that same thing that the Jets like to do, which is put a big grumper in your punch bowl.
That's a good one. Le'Veon Bell is definitely on the list for me. I still go back to the 4-year, $72 million deal that that Brock Osweiler got from the Houston Texans.
Yeah, I don't know who thought that was a good idea, but it was not.
No.
You talk about a horrifically bad quarterback. He was a horrifically bad quarterback.
Mm-hmm. He got replaced. Remember, he got replaced because Peyton came over to Denver, and it was, what's going to happen? Where's Brock Osweiler going to go? And Houston went, we're desperate enough.
We need a quarterback really bad, and we want this 6'7" feller with a big old forehead. Because that big old forehead means there's got to be a big old gigantic brain in there. Unfortunately, there was a sign in between his ears that said property for rent. Been vacant for a real, real long time.
Mm-hmm. After Brock Osweiler, that failure, I'm stuck on 2 here. I'll go with Jawan James going to the Denver Broncos. 4 years, $51 million. And he was awful.
Oh, he was genuinely terrible. And barely played.
Yeah.
Because he got hurt.
Mm-hmm.
And then they medically cleared him.
And then the pandemic came.
That was the next year.
Yeah.
He got hurt, was medically cleared. Then he only played 3 games because he didn't feel comfortable playing on the knee. Pandemic hits, he won't play. And then we did this for like 2 full years of, they're going to be fine because he's coming back. Nope. He's just not going to ever do that.
Well, I mean, he tore his Achilles after the pandemic off-site. Then he lost all of his guarantees, and they were just able to get out from under it. It was the best thing that ever happened for the Denver Broncos, or at least at the time. That was a completely wasted signing.
I feel like I got my 1, my 2, and my 3.
Okay.
Because you had a really weird way of saying Kenny Golladay.
Oh, that was a good one.
Yeah. He made almost $1 million per reception.
Wow.
And scored 1 touchdown in 2 years. And that 1 touchdown was in a Week 18 game where they were already eliminated from the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
They're still paying him almost $5 million this year. And no team in the NFL has looked at him and gone, well, we could try it just to see if maybe the Giants broke you. No, they broke you to such a point. You are the goodwill of the NFL. And there's a pee stain on that shirt. I'm not even going to try to wash it because I don't know what that came from, man, woman, child, or animal. I'm good. It's got the pee on it, and I don't want it. That was the really easy one.
Mm-hmm.
Then I started having to play the game of which one do I have to take because if I don't, you will. And we are really bad about whatever happened most recently is the biggest, the baddest, the greatest, and the worst. So I'm going to take J.C. Jackson with the Los Angeles Chargers because good Lord have mercy. Even the 2 I just said, so Le'Veon Bell, Kenny Golladay, my 1-2, they weren't the worst receiver in the NFL. Analytically, J.C. Jackson would have been better off if he just stood still. Like the ball snapped and he just goes, nope, can't move. Stuck to the ground, coach, because then at least you were defending the flat.
Mm-hmm.
He was as bad as any corner in the NFL. I didn't think that was the worst cornerback signing, and then I really started watching the tape on him, and I went, I don't even know if this is a scheme fit thing. I'm not sure you didn't just get paid and you've stopped working. That's why I don't really think it's going to work in New England.
Mm-hmm.
He'll come in and be fine because Bill can get something out of anybody, i.e. Sean Wade, who every other team he's played for went, no, he cannot play. And he still really can't play, but Bill keeps chucking him out there.
Right.
and making him look like a mannequin. Hey, you look like an NFL football player. Stand right there and just don't move.
Mm-hmm. All right, you went J.C. Jackson. I went with the Denver Bronco last time. I'll go with the Denver Bronco this time. It's Randy Gregory, the guy from today's news cycle. 5 years, $70 million.
That was a horrific signing when it happened.
Well, you had all the hopes, right? You had all the hopes that he was going to be able to, replicate his pass rush success in Dallas. Granted, he missed a lot of time when he was in Dallas, but it was that whole percentages thing, right? Whenever he's on the field, he gets pressure X amount of times. So we'll just bring him in, we'll make him a full-time pass rusher, and boom, it'll just be perfect, right? The perfect little replacement for Bradley Chubb, who we sent to Miami. It did not work out that way. And now, a year later, you just ditched him for nothing.
Yes, we will pay you to go away.
Mm-hmm.
That's when you know you're horror awful, is when they go, yeah, we'll eat the money. Just stop showing up here.
Yep.
Because your face is making me angry.
Now, I do not mean this as a joke, okay? But I'm going with another edge rusher that was signed last year, Chandler Jones.
Ooh.
Right? I mean, that could not have gone off the rails any worse.
I didn't even have him on my list. I boo-boo kitted that.
3 years, $51 million you gave him last year.
And according to him, not only did you throw money away on a guy that was not really productive for you, you may have tipped off that Josh McDaniels actually killed Aaron Hernandez, because that's something he said in the YouTube live or Instagram live.
Yeah, that is something that he said. And I feel like we should all discount everything that he has
100%.
said. It's horrible to see somebody go into a break of reality the way that he has, but clearly he's got some mental issues, and I'll say the same thing about Chandler Jones that I said about Antonio Brown. I hope to God he gets his stuff together. This guy's way too talented, and he has way too much to offer the world than to be in the shape that he's in right now. So I hope to God that he gets the help that he needs. But, yeah, you poured a lot of money into Chandler Jones. That was going to be the unstoppable force, right? Him and Max Crosby, we were doing stuff. And now it's just a complete waste.
I believe that I could have done this with only the New York teams, because you left me two more good old good ones, and they were in the same year.
Okay.
The first one's 4 years, $62 million from the New York Giants. That would be one Nate Solder, which I've always thought it was ironic that his last name rhymed with how he played, which was Boulder. You talk about a big old mountain that couldn't move laterally to save his life. He was another one. You were the worst offensive tackle in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
One of the highest paid, and just absolutely awful. To the point of 1 year after they paid you, that's when they drafted Andrew Thomas.
Yep.
And we all thought, he's going to be the right tackle, because I didn't think he could play left tackle. He was so bad they went, screw it, try him on the left, and it worked.
Mm-hmm.
Which I refuse to give Dave Gettleman any credit for doing anything ever. So I'm going to say that was a Bob Ross happy little accident.
There you go. All right.
He was horrifically bad.
Mm-hmm.
I considered Josh Norman here
because
it was so bad. But there was one that was worse, and it was my New York Jets. 5 years, $72.5 million for Tremaine Johnson. I still remember defending that up until about his second game, and I just went, this dude is awful. He had a lot of interceptions with the Rams, and the Jets just went, gimme. We can't intercept balls. Well, guess what? Neither can he when there's not talent around him. Whew. The New York just the money they have blown on guys that couldn't play dead in the Western, you could retire early.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Tremaine Johnson was terrible. 17 games in 2 years.
Yep.
And I'm not even sure he was the worst corner on that roster in that decade. That might be D. Milner. but you drafted him, so he doesn't count.
All right, my final selection. You got to go back all the way to the year, 2016, it looks like. The deal was 5 years, $40 million, and it was going to change the fortunes of the Philadelphia Eagles when they gave all that money to DeMarco Murray.
He was going to be my undrafted free agent.
Mr. 2,200 yards from scrimmage comes in, and, I mean, he barely got to 1,000 yards. Scored 7 total touchdowns. I think he
had 700 rushing yards. He must have had 1,000 total.
Total. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean, he had 2,200 total when he was in Dallas, and then he comes to Philly, and he barely got over 1,000 total yards, scored 7 total touchdowns, and you went, oh, we suck. Okay.
Yeah.
It was.
I'm not sure that the Dallas Cowboys didn't just go, go. Philadelphia's going to offer you money. You should go take that because the wheels are about to fall off of you.
Yeah. Now, do you blame Chip Kelly for that? Probably.
I blame Chip Kelly for a lot of things. I stubbed my toe the other day and blamed Chip Kelly. Anytime something bad happens to me, I go in some random cycle of who I blame.
Mm-hmm.
Chip Kelly, Rich Kotite, Joe Biden, Nancy Grace, Barack Obama. That's usually the 5.
Nancy Grace?
Oh, yeah.
What did she ever do to you?
Oh, she's the worst.
I agree with you.
She could literally... I'm not sure Nancy Grace couldn't read me the winning lottery numbers, and I wouldn't go, will you shut up, please, by the time she got to the third number. Like, oh, please just stop. It's awful.
Awful. Completely awful. All right, there it is, your daily draft. The worst free agent signings in the last 10 years. You got any other honorable mentions?
I have an undrafted free agent if you do.
No, you go ahead.
Nick Foles.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's one of those that when people say, "Oh, quarterbacks, that's or win-loss record's not a quarterback stat." Yeah, they use Nick Foles a lot. Yeah, you came in for a very finite period of time, and people didn't have enough time to figure you out in that offense, and you got hot at the right time. Then you went to Jacksonville, and they went, "How much money do we have to pay to get you to go away?" Because we'll give you all of it. Just Chicago, will you give us $8? We would really like a Happy Meal. And we'd like to supersize it.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, the Baltimore Ravens with Earl Thomas.
That one was bad.
That one exploded in the face quickly.
That one ended really bad.
Well, I mean, you gave the guy $55 million, and 3 weeks in, he punched a teammate in practice, and y'all went, "Okay, we're done. We're not doing this. We're done." Like he never even got on the field. God knows what you had to end up paying out of that.
He played a year there.
Did he?
Yeah. He was there I think he was there for a full year. That was in his second season.
Was that in his okay.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. It was in his second season.
Yeah, he played 15 games, and then he got cut in the preseason of the following year.
Excuse me.
Because he punched Chuck Clark in the face.
Still. Awful.
Yeah, that was a rare miss by the Baltimore Ravens.
Yeah, I'll make that one my that'll be my UDF thing. All right.
We also should just mention Antonio Brown with like 6 teams.
Everyone.
Tampa Bay, New England, Buffalo tried to trade for him. The Raiders did trade for him. So basically all of you were just going to lump you into one great big poo sandwich.
You're in the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM. 1400. We're back counting down to kickoff. Let's look at today's 3 keys to premium pre-gaming with Beast Unleashed, presented by Monster Brewing. Number 1, beat the heat.
Unleash the beast with bold, familiar flavors, 0 caffeine and 0 sugar.
Number 2, running the option.
There's 4 to choose from: White Haze, Peach Perfect, Scary Berries, and my personal favorite, Mean Green.
And number 3, at 6% ABV, Max Protect.
Always drink responsibly, and you must be 21 or over.
Beast Unleashed, available at your local retailer. The season we've all been waiting for is here. No, not that one. The season of the Big Orange Tent is underway in Western North Carolina. The area's largest selection of Halloween costumes, decorations, and accessories is at the Big Orange Tent at the Asheville Mall. Halloween Express is your one-stop shop for adult and child costumes, superheroes, horror icons, inflatable suits. You can find it all under the Big Orange Tent at the Asheville Mall. 10 to 8 Monday through Saturday, 12 to 6 on Sundays.
It's the season of back to school, back to work, and back to all the wonderful flavors of fall. At Ingles, we're here to help this fall be the best season of the year. Ingles, we're with you every step of the way.
Hi, I'm Kyle at Blindster.com. Shopping for new blinds? At Blindster, we offer over 50 different blinds, shades, and shutters at low prices, custom made for your windows, and shipping is free. Shop at home and order 10 free samples of any product before you buy. Blindster.com.
iHeartRadio Earth is here with a new way to enjoy our beautiful planet. Reduce your impact on the environment this fall by packing a waste-free lunch for school or work. Avoid foods with excessive packaging. Use reusable cutlery, napkins, cups, bags, and containers, and recycle or compost any waste when possible. Brought to you by iHeartRadio Earth and the National Environmental Education Foundation. To find more tips for smarter, sustainable living, or to take action in your own community, go to iHeartRadio.com/Earth.
Saturday, October. Don't miss Dropkick Murphys live October 28th at Rabbit.
Why is iHeartRadio the #1 streaming radio app?
Free music.
Free live radio stations from all over the country.
Free podcasts. Free playlists.
Free contests. Free artist radio stations.
Commercial-free stations. It's free. I love iHeartRadio.
Join the millions of music, radio, and podcast fans on the #1 streaming radio app now.
iHeartRadio.
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 Free never sounded so good.
The Sportsocracy.
That is some good, clean family fun there, eh, Kai?
Back in the Sportsocracy on a
Football Wednesday.
Yes, he did it. I was throwing that out there to see if you were going to pick up on it. It's a Football Wednesday, ladies and gentlemen. The Gamecocks of Jacksonville State.
Oh, I mean, look, it's Conference USA Wednesday. We got Maction Tuesday.
I thought Maction was Wednesdays.
It's on Tuesdays now.
Oh.
I think I want to say that starts next week.
So we're doing Coosa Wednesdays?
We're doing what?
Coosa? Conference USA?
Yeah, next week starts, it's actually Sunbelt in Conference USA Tuesdays. I don't think Conference USA even plays on Saturdays anymore.
That's right.
It's just like, we only play. We just through the week now.
That's right, because Appalachian State's playing next Tuesday.
Against Coastal Carolina.
Yeah. Which that'll be worth a watch.
Will it, though?
I mean, it'll be better than Jacksonville State and Middle Tennessee State, won't it?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, but that's like, it's like saying, which is worse, an ingrown thumbnail or an ingrown toenail. Both hurt, and you have to have them dealt with.
I'd go toenail on that one, but that's just me. Can we power rank the ingrown body parts?
No.
Let's do that.
Why are you're like the grossest person on planet Earth. You're just a disgusting man.
Hey, look, sometimes you take a swing on some content and you miss, okay?
You're just a disgusting man.
Jacksonville State, Middle Tennessee State tonight, Florida International, and New Mexico State, the Aggies.
You know what's funny? I'll watch it.
Only because you're just such a degenerate.
I am a degenerate. That's fine.
I would much rather watch playoff baseball.
Oh, good Lord. The Denver Broncos are throwing everything at this game with the Jets. They're wearing their snow-capped alternate helmet this Sunday. Awesome. So you can be bad in white. You've been bad in blue, bad in orange.
Hey, look. Now
we're going to do it in white.
Look, you feel good, you play good, right? So they're dressing for success. They're trying to put some spice into this matchup with the Jets just in the season.
I guess. I guess when you're that bad and you find a game that you think you can win, you just all dressed up with nowhere to go.
In the most non-surprising Jeremy Green baseball story, by the way, did you see the story about the Rays yesterday?
No.
So they started the the playoffs, right? And they're doing all 4 series at the same time over the next 3 days. So yesterday's game 1, today's game 2, tomorrow's game 3 for everybody. So the AL teams got the matinee games. So Tampa started the game at 3 o'clock yesterday afternoon. How do you think that went down at the Trop, attendance-wise?
8 people.
Yeah, about right. That's about right.
I'm sure it had tens and tens of watchers on television.
19,704 people showed up for the game. It was the lowest attended playoff game in Major League Baseball since, take a guess.
The last time they were in the playoffs.
No, go. Just keep on cruising.
I have no idea.
1919. You had to go back to the Black Sox World Series with Cincinnati when you had a playoff game that had fewer people at it than were at game 1 of the Rangers and the Rays yesterday. Not good. We're all just biding our time, right? Baseball fans. Obviously, Stephen Tao, he's waiting for the Baltimore Orioles' turn to come up and all of this. And then the rest of us, I think, are just sitting around waiting for the Braves to get into action in the NLDS this weekend, which you'll hear right here on ESPN Asheville.
Oh, yeah, I'm waiting with bated breath.
Oh, stop that.
Have you heard this story about Matt Canada?
Did he get fired?
No.
Then I don't care.
Oh, no, it's even better than that.
Oh, good. He got caught in scandal, and now we can fire him.
So there's a Twitter account that apparently at DannyFootball77 is Matt Canada's burner account. He's been defending all of these Matt Canada things.
Right.
And saying things to the level of Todd Haley, Randy Fichtner, now Matt Canada. Who's the common denominator here? It's Mike Tomlin and Chris Boswell. Yeah, there's only one problem. When you – and I don't quite know how they did this, but when you apply the forgot password thing, so if you put that Twitter handle in and then hit forgot password, it comes up to MA all the stars at ST all the stars.
Yeah, Matt Canada at
Steelers.com.
Nice.
It does appear that Mr. Canada does not understand technology all itself. Let me just, for trolls, we're next week we're going to bring back something that was really popular on our YouTube channel. It's called Troll Patrol.
Oh yeah, that was fun.
Don't use your work email address if you're going to create a burner account. B, don't put your real name on things you say on YouTube because it's real easy to find things about you. Ask me how I know. C, if you're going to troll somebody, the 10-year stand-up comedian, probably not the best person to do that with, especially when you have personal things in your little picture, because I don't play that game. I don't do it.
Jeremy's just out here doxing people.
Oh, I will never start the argument. I will end it. And it is shocking how many times it takes one comment before they go, I'm done now.
I'm free playing now. Shocking to the depths to which you will go.
I'm free playing now. I don't want to play no more.
Yeah, I'm not doing that. Not choosing to have an internet battle with somebody who knows more about the internets than I do.
And of which I'm that guy. Denver Donkey said you using fake names to make YouTube comments is a good idea. 100% it is. Should not probably have your real name as unless you're a Goodman and you don't make smart arse remarks to people on the interwebs.
Yeah. Not doing it. I'm not putting myself out there like that.
Well, I mean, you're not, but your email account is on my phone. I've never figured out why that is.
That's weird.
I use your account to troll people all the time.
Sweet.
Oh, yeah. If you start getting really threatening things in your email account, okay. I can tell you why that happens.
Jeremy's going to get me killed. I appreciate this.
Yeah,
all these years, there have been warning signs about this relationship.
Oh, yeah, there's a Sports Tank account with on a lot of Jet fan pages. They really don't like you.
Oh. Now I feel like this relationship is tainted.
But for why?
Well, I mean, that's just,
I'm smart enough to password protect my things. That's really that's the biggest taint in the relationship.
I hate it.
Well, I mean, you shouldn't use password ! As your password.
Well, look, it's the only thing I can remember, okay?
The password is taco. That's just what every password should be.
It's the Sportsocracy. It's ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. We got big doings coming to town. The Asheville Championship is back for another year, and this time it's bigger and better than ever. It is the newest premier preseason tournament in all of college basketball. The Asheville Championship back at Harris-Cherokee Center in Asheville, November 10th and the 12th. And this is, as I said, by far the best field that they have had so far for the tournament. It's 2 days. You get 8 games. 4 games. Math is fun. 8 teams, 4 games. Is that? No.
There's 4 teams.
2 games a day. 2 days of the tournament. Everybody plays everybody, right? Isn't that how that works? Anyway,
no.
It's
how are you struggling with this badly?
I don't know.
Tank went to 4th grade math class and went,
I don't know.
I'm never going to use this, so I'm not learning it.
There's some teams, right? And they're going to show up.
There's 4 teams.
If you want to go.
You will have 2 games on Friday, 2 games on Sunday. The winners of Friday will play each other on Sunday. The losers of Friday will play each other on Sunday.
See, he knows what he's talking about.
That's called a consolation game.
Boom. That's how that works.
Somebody reads their email and paid attention in math class.
You got UAB and Davidson along with Maryland and Clemson live at the Harris-Cherokee Center in Asheville, November 10th and the 12th. Now, we do have 2 tickets to each day. So it's a total of 4 tickets. You like how I did that math?
You got that one. And you only had to use both your hands and 8 of your fingers to get it right.
That's right. I mathed that real good. Get your tickets. For more information, you can go to AshevilleChampionship.com or you can call us right now. 252-4988. 252. I can't do numbers today at all. 225-4988. 225-4988.
You're going to have people calling 911 before this is all said and done. Like, I don't know what number to call to get them tickets.
Call us now. 225-4988. I got 2 tickets for each day of the tournament. November 10th and the 12th at Harris-Cherokee Center in Asheville, proudly sponsored by Ingles Markets. Best read I'll ever do.
Without a doubt.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Coolest weather since likely last spring. Well, minus maybe a couple of days where it's rained here this fall, but it's on the way. We're going to see some nighttime lows potentially in the 30s. Today, sunny 80, tonight clear 53. Tomorrow, a little fog early, then sunshine in the upper 70s. Chance of showers Friday, 76, and then upper 50s to low 60s for high temperatures over the weekend. From the Weather Channel, I'm Ray Stajic.
This report is sponsored by Blindster.com.
Hi, I'm Kyle at Blindster.com. Shopping for new blinds? At Blindster, we offer over 50 different blinds, shades, and shutters at low prices, custom made for your windows, and shipping is free. Shop at home and order 10 free samples of any product before you buy. Blindster.com.
Gillette Intimate gives guys a gentle and easy shave on there. And around there, and even under there. Don't treat your groin like junk. Respect it with Gillette Intimate, the best a man can get. Buy now at a retailer near you.
Some days, my active psoriatic arthritis makes it hard to get in the game. Now, the ball is in my court, thanks to treating my skin and joints with Skyrizi, Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150-milligram injection for adults.
Nothing is everything.
Skyrizi helps with less joint pain, stiffness, swelling, and fatigue. For those who also have plaque psoriasis, 90% clearer skin is possible with just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or a lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check for infection and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms such as fever, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough, or if you plan to or recently received a vaccine.
With Skyrizi, there's nothing like clearer skin and better movement, and that means everything. Ask your doctor today about Skyrizi and visit Skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKYRIZI to learn more.
Why'd you look at me when you said that? That felt really personal.
Well, I mean,
And-
you had people calling November 11th. You can call November 11th right now. What?
Did I catch a niner in there somewhere?
Jimmy gave me a G!
Congratulations to Peter, who won the tickets for the Asheville Championship. Again, November 10th and the 12th. Coming up at the Harris Cherokee Center, Asheville, the Asheville Championship, back for another successful year and the best tournament yet, with Clemson, Maryland, Davidson, and Alabama, Birmingham all on the docket. And we will have tickets to give away for the tournament tomorrow and Tuesdays and Thursdays all the way up to November the 9th. So stay listening to ESPN Asheville for your chance to win, like Peter did.
And you can have professional live reads of your business done by me and Simple Jack over there. Just email me. Just email me at jerry@thesportsocracy.com because I'm not sure Tank understands how keyboards work. You'll be getting the phone number to 225-4388. Those aren't the right numbers.
4988. Peter did thank me for screwing up the phone number, so he had a chance to call in and be the winner there.
He's going to be giving you his cell phone number before it's all said and done.
Yeah. Mark that down. 225-4988. Anywho.
I was about to say, you could tell a story, or you put a bow on this day.
You know what? I'm going to let you tell the story. You tell your story.
Okay. My story is about a flight. It's more bad things happening on flights. This was a flight from Heathrow, London to Bangkok, Thailand. Apparently, a couple, a woman, threw thousands of dollars in loose bills at a man on an airport runway after the couple were escorted off a plane in the wake of a fierce argument. Not only was the couple escorted off the plane, they had to land the plane in Vienna, Austria, because the argument had gotten so aggressive that the air marshals couldn't handle it anymore. Here's my question. I've been in some bad relationships in my day. I have famously told the story of the girl that put cigarettes out on my couch. What in the world could that argument be about? That she threw thousands of dollars in loose bills at him.
That's a great question.
What in the I gots to know, okay? If we're gonna live in this social media age where everything is public information, I need to know, what did he do and how much did it cost? Because that's the only answer I have here. For you to take a plane down headed to Thailand, of which, I don't know if you've ever been to Thailand. I have not, but I've heard stories, and if you know, you know. You did something so bad that on the way to that flight, you're just going, screw it. I'm throwing all the money at you. I never end up on those flights.
No.
Ever. You know what I end up with?
What's that?
The crying child. The child that you have selfishly brought upon this plane, their ears are going to pop and they're going to cry because they don't know what's going on. And it is miserable for the child. It is miserable for all of us around you.
Yep.
Put earmuffs on the child. I have a pair in my bag. Mm-hmm. If you ever see me on a flight and you have a child, I will lend them to you because I don't really need them.
All right, my story, it's not necessarily a crime, but it's actually just kind of funny, and it involves emergency workers here. This comes to us from Glen Falls, New York, where somebody's driving down the neighborhood, right? They look over, and they see a house glowing. Every window in this house, I mean, just lit up. And it's got that orange glow. Have you ever driven by an active fire scene, Jeremy?
No.
That is a scary thought.
I've seen one after it was all done.
Yeah. And I have been driving by a house, and you look by, and you can see, like, there's something going on in that house. There is fire. Every window is orange. There's smoke billowing out of the door, and it's something that frightens me to this day. Well, somebody did that to this house in Glen Falls, New York, and they called the Glen Falls Fire Department, to which the fire department went, boom, structure fire, let's go. They got in, they went to the house, they get out, they're running up to the front door, and guess what? House wasn't on fire. These people had put up such convincing Halloween decorations this weekend that it looked from the outside like the house was about to be engulfed in flames, and it even fooled the firefighters, because one of them did get to the door and one of them did kick it in. And then when he kicked it in and he looked inside, he went,
oh no,
I see where that light's coming from now. Look, maybe you don't make your Halloween decorations make it look exactly like your house is on fire, because then you're just begging for property damage. In that scenario, again, not a crime, right? It's just mistaken identity here or whatever. Does the county cover that? Will the Glen Falls Fire Department pay for kicking that door in?
I feel like that's a question for Asheville Police Chief David Zach.
I would think it would. I'm not sure if that's covered under homeowners insurance.
Do you decorate your house for Halloween?
Barely. We've got like a couple of lights that we put on outside the house. Like we've got spider web lights that we'll throw on the bushes in front of the house, and I'll run up a couple of, rope lights up the banister, and done.
I've long said that one of many reasons that my marriage works is because my wife and I both look at lame crap like that and go, I'm good. I'm good.
Not lame. It's festive.
I do. I respect my parents. I made soup the other night. I said I was going to do it. I did. I've now eaten. I think the last 5 meals I've had have been soup. So I took them some. So more mouths eating this, so I can get it out of my refrigerator. They decorate their house for fall, so there's pumpkins everywhere.
Yep.
There's only one problem with that.
Mm-hmm.
Pumpkins rot like reasonably quickly. I was looking around going, there's a couple of these that they're not gonna make it to pumpkin time.
But Dad still grows them, doesn't he?
Oh yeah.
Okay, so he's got plenty.
He just throws them off in
right.
that. We got a family farm. He just throws them off in the woods and goes against another one. Like,
exactly.
Hey, look, a brand new one.
He's got them to replace. See, that's why I don't do that though. Like we did that one year, and we did the cute little thing with the boys. They were 5 years old, and we went and got little tiny pumpkins, and we painted them all and carved some of them, put them out on the stoop, and a week and a half before Halloween even came, like I'm picking up gross gloppiness off of the porch, going, "Oh, that's disgusting."
Oh yeah, that's to me. There are certain things that we do that I think are really, really stupid. Carving pumpkins is one of those that I've always found to be really, really stupid.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, look, I put a candle in it and now it glows. So
spooky.
Yeah, you put a rotten gourd on your front steps. Awesome. And at Christmas time, you put a dead tree in your living room and water it.
Yep.
Uh-huh. Okay. All right. Then at the 4th of July, as I say every year, you celebrate your nation's independence by blowing up a small part of it. These are things we do as Americans.
Mm-hmm. Quit being a Scrooge.
Of all those things, the only one that I actively do is put up a Christmas tree. And if it was socially acceptable, I'd put up a Festivus pole.
Mm-hmm. Why is it not?
Nobody wants to do the feats of strength. Would you want to do the feats of strength with me?
No, probably
There
not.
you go. That's how it goes every year.
Do we have actual events in the feats of strength, or?
Yeah, you have to pin me, and Festivus is not over until it happens. I am the Frank Costanza of this scenario.
I'm good on that.
Yeah.
But my money would be on Amy.
I
Come on.
I was going to say something there that might have gotten me in trouble.
Mm-hmm.
If not with the FCC, certainly with my wife.
You're in the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville. Take a quick break. When we come back, we'll talk about first-year head coaches in the NFL. We were asked in the chat yesterday to discuss the quarter poll report on first-year coaches in the NFL. There's some really good ones.
Cullowhee is the place to be on Saturday, October 21st, as WCU football takes on Furman for Heroes Day. First responders and those who have served or currently serve in the military will receive free admission. Advanced ticket sales start at just $16 for adults and $11 for kids. Kickoff is at 2:30 p.m. at Whitmire Stadium on the beautiful campus of Western Carolina University. For tickets, visit catamounts.sports.com or call 800-34-GO-WCU. Go Cats!
It's Ryan Seacrest here. Check this out. With Boost Infinite, you get the latest iPhone every year and unlimited wireless for just $60 a month. You get the new titanium iPhone 15 Pro that was just announced. Then next year, you get the latest iPhone, and this keeps happening every year. It's Boost Infinite. Infinitely better. To switch today or learn more, pick up your phone, dial #250, and say Boost Infinite.
Terms apply. After 30 gigabytes, service may be slow. Receive a comparable iPhone model each year with an acceptable trade-in every year. Requires credit qualification and 36-month phone financing agreement. You'll have the option to receive a one-time auto-dial text message from iHeartMedia.
The NFL is back, and your free iHeartRadio app is your home for the NFL Podcast Network with full coverage of all 32 NFL teams. Get in-depth analysis from the pros on around the NFL. Win bragging rights at this year's draft with tips from the NFL Fantasy Football Podcast and more. Download the free iHeartRadio app today.
Gillette Intimate gives guys a gentle and easy shave on there. And around there, and even under there. Don't treat your groin like junk. Respect it with Gillette Intimate, the best a man can get. Buy now at a retailer near you.
The Panthers are back on the road this weekend as they'll visit the Lions at Ford Field. Join me and Ish Schroff alongside Luke Kuechly, Jim Zoki, and Sharon Thorsland for the call. Our pregame show comes your way at noon. Kickoff follows at 1 p.m. on the Carolina Panthers Radio Network.
Panther football live all season long on News Radio 570 WWNC.
At Ingles, we're proud to sponsor area athletics at all levels. Whether we're building new fields for T-ball, celebrating Friday night rivals, televising college basketball games, bringing the Fan Fest to semi-pro soccer, or taking you out to the ball game at your minor league park. We're here for the fans. No one gets the dedication to the home team like you guys. And we've got all the sports you can handle. It's all in the bag. Ingles. Low prices. Love the savings.
Running a small business is no small task. At Home Trust Bank, we work hard to prepare businesses for whatever tomorrow may bring. Your dreams are our business, and we have local experts who can help you plan for a successful future. Dependable guidance you need, and service you'll appreciate. At Home Trust Bank, we take your small business banking personally. Visit your local Home Trust branch or anytime at htb.com. Member FDIC.
The season we've all been waiting for is here. No, not that one. The season of the Big Orange Tent is underway in Western North Carolina. The area's largest selection of Halloween costumes, decorations, and accessories is at the Big Orange Tent at the Asheville Mall. Halloween Express is your one-stop shop for adult and child costumes, superheroes, horror icons, inflatable suits. You can find it all under the Big Orange Tent at the Asheville Mall. 10 to 8 Monday through Saturday, 12 to 6 on Sundays.
The Sportsocracy.
Why are you smiling? Because I love football.
Back in the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville. Yesterday in the YouTube chat, we were asked, or I guess that was Monday, actually, we were asked to do a segment on the first-year head coaches, the quarter poll report on how that's going. I mean, that's a little limited. There's only 3 first-year head coaches in the NFL.
The first-time head coaches. There are 5 first-year head coaches.
Oh, okay. So maybe that's where I'm getting confused. Because I was going to say there are 5 that are in the first year with a new team, but it's not their first year as an NFL head coach. So, I mean, we start with the bad here.
Well, the bad's the 2 retreads.
Exactly. Frank Reich with the Carolina Panthers. F.
I can honestly say I can't name one thing that you should feel good about right now.
No. Your offensive line is terrible. Your running game's not working.
By the way, just since we are Panther affiliates, can I please, for the love of all that's good and holy, with Austin Corbett, he's been cleared to practice. He's going to be coming back. I don't know what you would do on the left side. I have no clue.
Mm-hmm.
It's time to put Ike Ekwonu in a guard. He is not a tackle, and he is never going to be.
Yeah.
But if you will move him inside the guard like one mulleted draft nerd told you to when you drafted him, now we can start talking about positive things, because I think with Austin Corbett and Ekwonu at guard, they could run the ball. And that would make things significantly easier for Bryce Young.
That would move Zavala?
No,
and he's starting?
Zavala needs to be holding Gatorade cups on the.
Has he not been good?
Oh my! Take a guess at what his PFF grade is.
2. 12.5.
Okay, PFF grades. J.C. Jackson was a 40.5.
Okay, so 38.6.
27.4. He's the lowest rated offensive lineman in the NFL by 10 full points.
Yikes.
He has been a disaster.
Okay, all right. I mean, I know as a unit, that line has just been awful. And you can't grow a quarterback that way, especially when he doesn't have any great weapons to use.
Frank Reich, for me, is an F, but there is something else I want to talk about here. If a team came to Carolina with that, it's not going to be the same offer.
Mm-hmm.
As allegedly, the Rams offered 2 first-round picks for Brian Burns last year. Would you do it if they came to you with that right now?
Yes.
I'd do it in a heartbeat. And yes. I love Brian Burns. I think he's a great edge rusher. You're going to have to recoup some of this draft capital you gave up to get Bryce Young.
Mm-hmm.
You have to.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm just looking at this draft going, all right, you're not going to pick till 34 probably at best. That's not a good start.
No.
And you're at a horrible talent deficiency right now.
Yeah, I'm all in using whatever tool you can to get something to build around this quarterback, because Brian Burns ain't going to help it, right? He's not going to serve the purpose of making this guy your franchise quarterback. This is what your team has to be about now. So if it means getting rid of Brian Burns or throwing Derek Brown out there as a trade piece or something, I think I'd be on board with all of it.
I don't know that I would come off Derek Brown because you got an extra year there. But if, and there were a couple teams that I identified that if I were them, I would be interested in making that offer.
Mm-hmm.
The Jacksonville Jaguars, the Miami Dolphins. I know you've already. I don't care. All right, Jalen Phillips. You can do a lot of things moving these guys around because Brian Burns is mobile enough to do a lot.
Yep.
The Jacksonville was the first and foremost.
Denver Broncos, Sean Payton. He's next on the list.
He's a fa.
Yeah.
He has fawed and he's about to foe.
Well,
but he's going to foe in the snow cap helmets.
Can we get an F+, maybe, for the Randy Gregory thing? I mean, if this leads to the ultimate turnaround, then maybe it's a step forward.
I'll be honest with you. I think I was being kind with an F. I want to give you an L. Whatever worse than F is, that's what you deserve.
Okay.
Because Sean Payton has done nothing over the course of this season but confirm everything I said in the offseason of you're not getting what you're bargaining for here. And the nepotism of the Brandon Johnson and Adam Troutman and all these New Orleans Saints, Will Lutz. By the way, the funniest thing that could possibly have happened over the course of this past weekend is the Broncos get down in field goal range, and then his boy Will Lutz misses the field goal, and they lose.
Mm-hmm.
I was low-key really cheering for that. I mean, Sean Payton's been a disaster.
Yep.
And I don't know that it's going to get better. I don't think he's a very good coach.
Mm-hmm. First year head coaches. There's 3 of them.
I have an A+, an A, and an A-.
Okay, who's the A+?
The A+ is D'Amico Ryans.
Okay.
If I were voting for NFL Coach of the Year right now, it would be D'Amico Ryans, and I wouldn't even fill out the other 2.
Mm-hmm.
Just, you know what? Put him down for all 3. I'll put him first, second, and third.
Okay. Why?
That team is not talented enough to have done what it's done the last 2 weeks. But you can. This is what a good coach does. This is what I hoped Robert Saleh would do. But to me, D'Amico Ryans is probably a better coach, or will be in time. He has come in and he has set a tone. That defense flies around. They're not overly talented. They have some players, but you can just tell they're well coached. They're well motivated, and to me, D'Amico Ryans is doing a phenomenal job in Houston. And Houston, you were lucky enough that the best candidate on the market played for you. You had the least attractive job.
Mm-hmm.
You hired the most attractive candidate. And just don't screw it up.
4 weeks into the season, you killed your draft picks.
No doubt. I mean, right now, we called you morons.
Yeah.
And now you look like geniuses.
Yeah.
Because you got your franchise piece on both sides through 4 weeks. That may not continue that way.
It may not. It may just be a hot start for C.J. Stroud. I have an A for D'Amico Ryans as well. This was a team that played tough, though, under past leadership. So I don't think we should be surprised too much that D'Amico Ryans has come in here and added a little extra oomph to this team. They played well under Lovey. So
at times. They were spunky under Lovey.
Yes.
But they couldn't score.
But this is wins now.
Yes.
Now you're translating it to wins.
Yes.
All right, who's your A?
The A for me is Jonathan Gannon.
Yes. I would probably have him a smidge ahead of D'Amico just because I know how terrible that team is.
They're winning, you're not.
I get it.
Now, I'm not sure you even want to win. I'm not sure that Arizona's not fully living by the Jeremy Green philosophy of we want to be competitive. We want to instill a culture of making everybody earn the win when they come to Arizona. And then those last 4 minutes, we just oopsie poopsie. Full Kevin with the chili in the office just, oh, what did we do?
And then smirk about it.
Good.
Yeah.
That was good. I'm glad we did that. Yeah. Marvin Harrison's going to be real fun here next year. I love it. I love a lot of things that are happening in Arizona. I was super skeptical of that hire.
Mm-hmm.
And I felt like Arizona hired who would take the job. And if that is the case, because I've heard that in league circles basically since the hire was made, that he was not the first choice. He was not the second choice. And then he came in, crushed the interview, and actively wanted the job. And that was what convinced them.
Yep.
And if that's the case, you are making the most of your opportunity, my friend.
All right, then that leaves the A- for Shane Steichen of the Indianapolis Colts.
And look, I think he's doing a good job. I'm really picking nits here because I didn't want to go 3 A+ and 3 F-, or 2 F-. So I just kind of tiered them. And to me, I think Shane Steichen probably has more to work with than the first 2 do, and he's getting about equivalent results.
Mm-hmm.
But the fact that you're doing that with a quarterback that's, 56.9% completion percentage, that's a really good indicator of how well your offense is moving. There's not. And yet here you are.
Mm-hmm.
And you've got a chance to win this division just like the Houston Texans do.
Yep.
I do find it funny that the AFC South has become exactly what we thought the AFC North would be. That it's going to be contested till late. You're all about equivalently good. And then you look at the AFC North and go, uh-oh.
Mm-hmm.
One of you's real good, one of you's pretty good, and 2 of you are terrible. You flipped. You 2 have been close to each other in the newspaper, and you rubbed off on one another.
You know, I hadn't thought about that, but you're right. You're very astute there when you choose to be their Flostradamus.
That's what happens when you stop smoking.
Yeah.
Your brain, I don't know what nicotine has to do with that, but
who knows?
I really just wanted the flowers for 2 days in, and I haven't stabbed anybody yet.
And I hope you can make it a lot longer because chances are that person you stab is going to be me. You're in the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville. Back with you tomorrow at noon here on ESPN Asheville. Enjoy the football tonight if you can. If not, guess what? It'll be okay. Football will be back tomorrow.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Coolest weather since likely last spring. Well, minus maybe a couple of days where it's rained here this fall, but it's on the way. We're going to see some nighttime lows potentially in the 30s. Today, sunny 80, tonight clear 53. Tomorrow, a little fog early, then sunshine in the upper 70s. Chance of showers Friday, 76, and then upper 50s to low 60s for high temperatures over the weekend. From the Weather Channel, I'm Ray Stajic.
The best season of the year is here.
Tailgate season.
Monster Brewing presents this season's MVP,
The Beast Unleashed.
with 4 bold, familiar flavors.
With 0 caffeine and 0 sugar.
Beast Unleashed is your new pregame ritual.
With white haze, mean green, peach perfect, and scary berries, there's a flavor for every fan.
The Beast
Unleashed.
6% alcohol by volume. Unleashed responsibly. Must be 21 or over. Beast Unleashed available at your local retailer.
Our state's future begins with our students. That's why the North Carolina Education Lottery has contributed over $10 billion to education. Through scholarships, school construction, support staff, and pre-K programs, lottery dollars move our state forward, helping students become the best versions of themselves. Visit movingncstudentsforward.com and share how your student or school community has benefited for a chance to earn $2,000 for your story. Must be 18 to play. Problem Gambling Helpline